is it different? Flesh fight in my spirit. I seen this, the outcome is wicked. I got old love knocking at my door. She like, can you make room one more? Ain't trying to be around all that. I'm trying to ground all that. I'm trying to get back to the way just to confound all that. Time to turn back to the mission. Time to take back what is missing. Checking my bags, I be a minute. Through all the pain and the affliction, I know it's just a war inside. It's just a war inside. Trying to control my mind, but I hold the line. I gotta hold the line. Stay strong and endure. Don't look back. Don't look back. In the new minute, just fight back. Yeah, yeah. Fight back and win. I'm on it. Lately I've been staying out the way, cause I don't want that bad sneaking up on me today. And I don't waste my time on what people, what they think. I'm focused on what's mine, doesn't matter what they say. Hey, I learned that love from my brother, not to make friend with the devil. If I offend him, vice versa, we gon' bounce back like some rubber. Watch out now, nah. No fiction, straight facts, let the heathen react. This is the patient of the saint, cause it's a war inside. Yes, it's a war inside. And I ain't trying to die, I gotta hold the line, I gotta keep my mind, I gotta hold it down all at the same damn time. War inside, it's just a war inside. Trying to control my mind, but I hold the line. I gotta hold the line. Stay strong and endure. Don't look back, don't look back. In the new minute, just fight back and win. Created to be upright. I ain't something that they don't like. Give me a minute if you don't mind. Understanding it is no price. Worldly lust is what we don't need, but they gon' tell you what's contrary. You the greatest, but they won't say. So raise your glass as I do say. I'm created to be upright. I'm created to be upright. I'm created to be upright.
AHOS.
Shalom, shalom, Israel. This is Soldier Not a Yab, but they're knowing the house of saints. And I'm coming with you from the verse of the day. I'm coming from the scripture of Colossians, chapter 3 and verse 21. Fathers, provoke not your children to anger, lest I be discouraged. You know, I'm struggling with this right now too. You know, I'm working on this myself. You know, I'm a father. I have 5 kids. And it takes time and patience to correct your kids, and you also got to build them up. You can't just hammer them down and beat them, and that may make them flee from the truth. You don't want to offend the little ones. So we got to build our kids up, and we got to correct them, and do it with these laws, statutes, and commandments. And with that, shalom.
AHOS.
Shalom, 2 times your brother Kazai, man, coming at you with the verse of the day. We're gonna go with the book of Sirach, 27 and verse 3. Unless a man hold himself diligently in the fear of the Lord, his house shall soon be overthrown. And that's scary. So pretty much if we don't hold ourselves diligent in the law, statutes, commandments, doing what the Most High wants us to do, we can kiss it goodbye. That's very scary because it can blow out our candle at any time. He may spoil our house. He may spoil our relationships. Most High does it as he please. So we need to stay on his good side. Shalom.
Shalom, shalom, yasa Allah. This is your Ak Kasadia with another verse of the day. And this is Sirach 37 and 12. Be continually with a godly man, whom thou knowest to keep the commandments of the Lord, whose mind is according to thy mind, and will sorrow with thee if thou shalt miscarry. So that's telling you, right? Be not unequally yoked in all things, right? You know, iron sharpens iron, so shall a man sharpen the countenance of his friends, right? The Bible has to flow like living water, right? So it's telling you, get you amongst brethren that think like you, right? Separate from this world, Yasharal. Shalom.
AHOS.
Jonathan got bars, man. He got bars. But he always making slow music, man. Wanna pray to his music and meditate. He can't get hype, man. Sometimes I wanna get hype for the Lord. Come on, man.
Blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post. Blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, keeping them close. Man, we got Frenches and seats on the clothes. Me and my brothers ain't sleeping, we reading the secrets. The deepest you've been is the ocean. Now we've been swimming in waters that's deeper than rivers to Jordan. We creeping up on them. It's the 14th of the month. Bone Thugs one day late for the show. Oh. Ain't never been out, ever since Redder Man, Redder Pen Pals. You too late, you let them in now. We like veterans, niggas us power. These secrets only come through steady, no regrets. We walk through water like Jesus. We raising the dead, you see this. Look at this evening pose. Blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post. Blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post.
We hold in post, chopping up doctrines that ain't coming close. They had the two strikes like on Warner Franco. We're Rochelle toast. Wisdom is better than silver and gold. This water is knocking down wicked Pharaoh. Can't swim through the sea, man, that fan was too slow. Pharaoh was sober-minded, think he can and go. Escape on a starry night, Victor Van Gogh. Living good unchained like Quincy Django. Sharpers down in the hood, now they wanna tango. Death angels coming close, so watch your back, bro. Watch your back, bro. We grilling that lamb, we gon' eat that. That better, bitter herb, we gon' eat that. Doing this till you how I come and see that. We that. Oh.
Blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post.
The Pesach and Nissan. We found faith in Misraim. We got to be strong. Walking through water, pray we don't sink. Strapped up, boots tight. Walking upright, boy, we don't lean. 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 Walking upright, we see that.
Blood on the post. Blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post.
Shalom, 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 yasha Allah, shalom, family. It's good to see you. It's good to see everyone in the room that's here. Want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Mashaki Hawashai. Want to thank everyone for being at our Milk Monday, another Milk Monday lesson. And of course, this is going to be a special one because this is leading into our Passover feast. So looking forward to that, and we're hoping that we can see as many people there as possible to bring in the Passover feast with Anointed House of Saints. And since I brought that up, let me go ahead. Matter of fact, since I brought that up, let me just go ahead and play this. Play what we got one more time, at least for Milk Monday. So I'll be right back.
AHOS.
A sharp for sock. Hey man, if you not here, you going off.
Save the date. Anointed House of Saints invites you to our Passover celebration in Atlanta, Georgia, on April 21st, 2024 at 7 p.m. Enjoy a weekend of family fun with events catering to all ages. It's a celebration you won't want to miss. Reserve your seats now at www.anointedhouseofsaints.org. Join us for a laid-back, joy-filled weekend with your loved ones. See you there.
All praises, all praises, all praises. So just let me go ahead and recap on that real quick. So our Passover is coming up April 21st, 7 p.m. This will be held in Atlanta, Georgia. All right. Those who have already purchased your tickets, you already have information as to the events that are going to be held for the week leading up to the day of Passover. But be aware of that. I think if we haven't put that out, the captains will get that out shortly to you. But all praises. So I also want to do one thing. I want to give a big congrats to our new soldiers who have just become members and soldiers of AHOS. You know who you are. I don't have your names all the way correct yet, so I'm just going to say welcome home. Glad to have you here and ready to do this work. All praises to the Most High. And now I can actually say this too, right? So if there are any brothers out there who are wanting to build their brick with Anointed House of Saints, you can do so because we will be having a prospect phase starting up again. You can do so by emailing us at anointedhos@gmail.com. Put in the subject line prospect phase. We'll get that information to you as to when the next prospect phase is going to begin. All right. Also, what's the other thing I needed to say? I already said about the Passover. Oh, you know what? Let me just go ahead and get to the shout outs real quick. Right. Let's get to these shout outs real quick. Those coming into the room, please like, share, and subscribe. That's how we get this information out to our peoples. All right. So we'd love if you do that for us. Baba Kasha. Also, I'll bring that up later. But let's go ahead and bring these shout outs out. First on the scene is Larry Walker. Shalom. Shalom to you, Larry Walker. Shalom always to Sister Joan Gilchrist, as always. Shalom to Laura Harris. Shalom to Ak Masha. Shalom to the new soldier, Brown. Shalom. Welcome, brother. Shalom to AHOS Nadiyab. Shalom to you, brother. Shalom to Soldier Araya. Shalom to you, brother. Shalom to Sister L. Good to see you. Good to see you, sis. Shalom to, who else we got? Shalom to Luis. Shalom. Shalom to Captain Yakum Ya. Shalom to you, Cap. Shalom to Debbie Diane. Casa de Zebulon. Shalom. Shalom to Zion, the light, the princess of poetry. Shalom to you, sis. If there's anyone that I missed, I will try and call you at the end of class. But other than that, tonight's class is going to be titled, for Milk Monday, it is titled Passover Preparations. That's leading into the Passover, the things that we need to take care of. Main thing, getting the leaven out of us, out of our house, out of this house, right? So it's Passover Preparations, Black Jewish Relations, The Truth Divides. Captain Eliel has a great lesson for you. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to him, and let's get this class started. How you doing, Cap?
Man, I'm tired, bro.
Me too. I'm not gonna lie. I've been working my butt off this week.
Sheesh. All right, y'all. How y'all doing, man? Shalom, everybody. Of course, like the brother said, we want to give honor, praise, and glory to the Most High Yahweh by Shema Mashiach Yahweh Shah, or in the name of His Son Yahweh Shah, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. All right. So, yeah, today we're gonna be first, obviously, For our camp, Passover is coming up, so we're gonna quickly go through some Passover preparation to make sure everybody's celebrating it right, especially if you can't come be with us. You know what I'm saying? Plus, in order to be with us, there's some things you got to get in order with your house, as far as, you know, like Knox said a minute ago, getting the leaven out the house, getting the leaven out your spirit and all that type of stuff, because there's a certain way you have to come to the Most High. You know what I'm saying? In order to be able to perform at the Passover. Knock, you still there?
God, I'm here.
Just making sure. All right. So, let's go ahead and start with that. Passover prep. I want to kind of get into it because of the other part of the lesson. So, hopefully you guys watch our Passover lesson. It's gonna be pretty good. Got brothers working on it. I know they're gonna do a good job. So, you know, all praises for that. But let's start with Deuteronomy chapter 16, verse 4.
God.
Just to get straight to the point. Because the main thing, like Knox said, is to get the leaven, right? Before we talk about getting the leaven out your spirit, which would be the most important part, we'll start with the I guess the easier part, but also it gets a little carnal. So we want to kind of get into that as far as the no leaven, right? So leaven mainly is the thing that you think about when you think of bread. So obviously bread is going to be something that you're not going to be able to partake in unless it's flat bread, right? Bread that doesn't have leavening agents. And leavening agents, for those of you that don't know, if there's anybody new to this, is things that make it swell up, right? The thing that makes your bread puffy, make you be able to poke your hole in it and leave a fingerprint and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that being said, bread is one of the main things. There's also a lot of other things that have leavening agents in it, though. And we're going to get into which of those you have to actually get out your house and remove, and those you don't have to, right? And for those of you that can't actually move things from the property, because, I mean, you might live with your parents or in a dorm, roommates or something like that, or, you know, you just can't afford to throw all your stuff away. We have some scriptures for that as well, right? So let's start with Deuteronomy 16 and 4. Let's go ahead and get that.
Before I bring that verse out, Cap, I forgot. I just want to remind everybody, get your markers, get your pens, right? Get your notebooks, have your Bibles out, write these precepts down, right? Take notes. This is how we learn, right? We learned this in school. We need to write these things down. We need to go and study over them, and we need to go ahead and start practicing what we learned. All right. So this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 16 and verse 4. And there shall be no leavened bread seen with thee in all thy coast 7 days. Neither shall there anything of the flesh which thou sacrificest the first day at even remain all night until the morning. Verse 5.
That's it on that. So I mean, that was the law, right? No leavened bread. Give me 1 Corinthians chapter 5 and verse 8. Now that we're in this spirit of the New Testament, so to speak, right? And we're moving closer to that as Christ comes back. 1 Corinthians 5 kind of explains how we're looking at it right now, right? As far as the spirit you need to come in. And it gives an unleavened bread analogy. Go ahead, bring that up.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 5 and verse 8. Therefore, let us keep the feast, not with old leaven, neither with the leaven of malice and wickedness.
Right. So I want everybody to understand why the Most High made this a feast day where we're not supposed to have leaven, right? Because the leaven, for one, that we had represents something that we ate, you know, in Egypt, right? This is a feast, for those of you that don't know, it represents us leaving Egypt, basically passing from one life to the next life, right? Also represents the passing over of the death angel to the Israelites that followed a commandment from the Most High to put the blood on their post, right? And they didn't die. So it represents what could happen if you keep the commandments, right? A reward, so to speak, which allowed them to be able to pass over and come into a new land where we became the, you know, head of all people on the planet Earth, a people close to the Most High, right? We came into a covenant with him. That was the reward for the Passover, right? And the event of the Passover was the actual death angel, who is Hamashiach Yahushua. We'll talk about that in the lesson. Stay tuned, right? but not this lesson, but the Passover lesson, right? Yeah, you ain't gonna get that for free here. Nah, you got to show up to Passover. So, but yeah, that's Hamashiach Yahushua, right? And the death angel basically didn't kill the people that followed the commandment, right? And the ones that didn't, including the Egyptians that wouldn't let our people go, right? Well, they were smitten. That's the way it worked. So, and if you've ever seen the movie The Prince of Egypt, it's a pretty good educational depiction of that whole scene, right? So, I suggest you watch it with your kids if you haven't seen it before or whatever, right? So, this right here, 1 Corinthians 5:8, is explaining not to keep the feast with the old leaven, right? Because there was a new spirit that you were supposed to come into this covenant with the Most High with. And every year we get to renew that spirit through the Passover, right? You get a day where you get to give yourself a clean slate with the Day of Atonement, right? And every year you get to renew your covenant with the Most High with the Passover. And ironically, we get, well, it's Passover, then the Day of Atonement, then Passover again, right? So you get to renew the covenant, then you get to, have a day to make up for your mistakes that you made after you renewed the covenant, and then you get to renew the covenant again and try not to make them same mistakes. That's the way it works with the Most High, right? And obviously, if it hasn't hit you by now with me saying that, once we get to a point where the 1/3 isn't making the same mistakes again, that's when Hamashiach Yahushua comes back, because it proves that we're in, true repentance. We've actually repented for the things we said we were not going to do, right? So that's 1 Corinthians 5:8. Keep going on that.
Con. 1 Corinthians chapter 5 and verse 8. Therefore, let us keep the feast, not with old leaven, neither with the leaven of malice and wickedness, but with the unleavened bread of sincerity and truth.
Yeah, not with the things that get you puffed up, malice and wickedness, right? Unleavened bread of sincerity and truth, right? Sincere kindness for your brethren, sincereness when it comes to trying to keep the law, and truth, which is the law, right? And all the things that come with it. You feel me? So that's the spirit that we're supposed to be in for this feast day. And that's what, you got to do. So with that being said, there's two things that you do to show you're in that spirit. There's a physical aspect to it, and then there's a spiritual aspect to removing the leaven, right? So physically, we're going to start with that first. If you got a house, obviously, we just talked about bread. So leavened bread is something you're going to want to remove. Alcohol, right? Beer, grain alcohol, port alcohol, things like that was made with yeast, right? Yeast is a form of leaven. So if it has that yeast leavening agent in it, it's something you're going to have to remove out your house. Hurry up and drink your drink before, Passover. You can't bring it, right? What else we got? Breaded chicken. Don't eat none of that during your week, right, of the feast. Don't do that, because some of y'all might end up having to go to work. You can't take the whole week off. You go to lunch. Go get your normal lunch. It's that breaded chicken from the deli at Walmart, or it's a Burger King sandwich or something like that, right? You can't eat none of that. It's a dub. You'll break the feast, break the fast, break the feast, so to speak, if you do that, right? So, what else? Soda, right? Pop. I'm in the South now. They say soda. So pop, soda, right? Soda pop. The colas and stuff. That stuff you can't drink. It has leavening agent, which is the fizz stuff to make it bubble up, right? So not gonna want to touch none of that. Certain type of noodles have leavening agent in it, so you're gonna want to wash the pack. I don't eat noodles like that, so I don't remember the name of them. But just look for the leavening agent in the noodle packs. Cereal, I wouldn't recommend that. Most of the cereal is puffed up bread, for those of you that don't know. So if your kids eat cereal and stuff like that, you're gonna have to, replace that with something else. Dog food. If you got dogs, cat nibble, the kibbles is leavened. So I tell people every year, there's a store. It's typically in every state. You can order online. They ship it to you like Amazon and everything real quick. Walmart has their food for shipping like next day and everything. It's called Animal Supply Co. Let me just fix this right quick because I'm tired of looking like that. So Animal Supply Co. Right? You could go on animalsupplyco.com. They got real dog food, right? You can like actual meat and stuff like that. It's frozen. It's real. They got goat milk, all that type of stuff. If you got like puppies and everything and puppy milk and all that stuff. So they got real organic food you can give to the dogs and the cats and stuff like that. Your gorillas, your ferrets, they got all type of animal food, whatever animal you got. If they got leavened food that you feed them regularly, you can get unleavened food from Animal Supply Co. All right. Also, you can replace the food with just regular. You could go to the deli at your store and get some regular chicken or something like that. Or make them some food. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'll be doing with my dog. I ain't getting the Animal Supply Co this year. But I did every year before that. So yeah. So Animal Supply Co. Something else you gotta talk about. There's leavening agents in some of your bottled water, right? That is not something you have to throw away. Bottled water does not puff up, doesn't swell, it doesn't fizz. Your sparkling water, don't drink that. Toss that. Let that go. Right? For all these, like, yeah. What's that? Sangria? Toss that.
Yeah.
Let that go. Yeah. What's that little sweet wine? Rose Riscata or something like that.
Yeah. Rosé, something? I don't know.
Rosé too. Let that, yeah. All that gotta go. It's got leavening agents in it. So either drink it, let it fly. So that brings me to the next point. Some camps will tell you gotta just toss everything away. Toothpaste, I'm gonna say this. Unless you a weird nigga that eat your toothpaste, I wouldn't say throw your toothpaste away because you're not eating it, right? You needed to brush your teeth. You can pick other things to brush your teeth with. Baking soda, if I'm not mistaken, also has leavening, like it's a leaven, right? So I wouldn't choose the toothpaste with the baking soda, but yeah, like they got like tea tree oil toothpaste and all that type of stuff. If you got that type of stuff, I wouldn't toss that at all. I would use it and just not swallow it, like it say not to do on the directions. Don't eat it, and you'll be fine. So that brings me to my next point. Give me Matthew 23:4 right quick. Just because Brown said that. Appreciate you, Brown. So yeah, I ain't gonna tell you toss away your bottled water, because it ain't the leaven that you have in bread, because it doesn't, it don't fizz when you drink it. Or your tap water, because they put chlorine in it, and depending on who you ask, that could be leavening agent, but you can't stop it. So you cannot drink water, or you can drink water. You cannot cook or can cook. It's up to you. Balls in your court. But they do put chlorine in everybody's water in the United States, if you didn't know that.
Right.
That's just rule of thumb. I used to sell water. So Matthew 23:4. Go ahead, read that.
Khan, it's the book of Matthew, chapter 23 and verse 4. For they bind heavy burdens and grievous to be borne.
Yeah. Keep going.
And lay them on men's shoulders, but they themselves will not move them with one of their fingers.
Yeah, so I'm not going to be the brother that tells you, yeah, you got to throw all this stuff away, and then I ain't going to give you no way to replace it. I ain't paying for all y'all stuff. I'm just not. You feel me? So what I would say is you're supposed to remove things out your home. Some of y'all don't have ways to remove it. If you have a car that you could put your stuff in for the week, I would do that. Toss it in your trunk. It's not in your house. You can't eat it. It's away from the crib. Hopefully you're not going to the car to eat sandwiches in the middle of the night. The Most High sees you. You ain't hiding from nobody. So yeah, leave that in your trunk if you can't do nothing with it. If you don't have a car, put it in the basement. If you live with your parents or something like that, or just don't touch none of their stuff. If they're not in the truth and you live with your folks, don't touch none of their stuff. You know what I'm saying? Touch the stuff that's yours, that you bought, and everything that you got that's leaven, that's yours. Get rid of that. Eat it, whatever it is, before Passover, and don't touch no more of it until after Passover. So brings me to my next point. Ecclesiastes 7:16. Right? So that's my advice for that situation. If at all you can get rid of your stuff, in the best way you can, please do get rid of it, right? But that was for the people that can't, right? And the Most High knows whether you can or you can't. So, I ain't going to be the judge of the situation. Just know the Most High sees you. And if you try to get away, you won't escape. Allah Shad Yah is not the hands that you want to fall in. So keep this feast with sincerity, right? But these scriptures are here for a reason. Go ahead. Ecclesiastes 7:16.
God. Slakia.
You good. Yeah, because, we in captivity. We all know that. Everybody money ain't long, especially right now with inflation and everything. Can't just be tossing food away. I understand. Some of y'all got kids, single moms and single dads, and you're not single parents, but money ain't long enough to just toss stuff and go get it after a week. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to tell you to do what I just said. Get this stuff out of sight, out of mind, get it out of the crib if at all possible. And that'll be the same as, you actually removing it from your house for that time. Then you can put it back in the house after the closing of Passover, right? So go ahead, read that. Ecclesiastes 7:16.
Come on, it's the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7 and verse 16. Be not righteous over much, neither make thyself over wise. Why shouldest thou destroy thyself?
Yeah. Not to say it's not good to be extremely wise or extremely righteous, because that ain't what the scripture is talking about, right? It's saying don't put yourself in a situation where you're hurting yourself trying to do everything exactly right to the T, right? Not to say that you're not supposed to do everything exactly right to the T, because you should, because, some niggas don't like to read between the lines, so I got to say that. But with that being said, right, this scripture's here for a reason. If you can't afford to toss your stuff, don't toss it. If you one person and you can't eat a loaf of bread in a week, I don't know why you can't, but if you can't, put the rest of the bread in the trunk or give it to your white friend if you still got one of those. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But just do what you got to do to get it out the house until after Passover, the closing, right? So that would be my advice for the physical standpoint, right? You ain't got to get rid of your deodorant. You ain't got to get rid of your toothpaste. Please use it. Don't come to Passover without it, because it's going to be hot if you come into Georgia. And I don't want to smell you, because y'all going to have garments on and it gets hot. So please put deodorant on during Passover. I beg you. And brush your damn teeth. Yes, do that too. And use the tongue scraper. You know what I'm saying? It don't have leaven in it. You should get one of those, right? Because, yeah, just saying. So, to the spiritual part now. Luke chapter 18, verse 9.
It's the book of Luke, chapter 18.
Actually, hold on a second.
All right.
Wait a minute. Just give me Matthew 5 and 9. Just give me Matthew 5 and 9. I ain't gonna go there, because if I do that, I'm gonna go down a rabbit hole. Okay. And I don't got time for the rabbit hole, because we're already 30 minutes in, and I ain't trying to be here for 2 hours.
Come on, it's the book of Matthew.
Before you read that, right? Yeah. Spiritually, what we got to understand, there's a lot of discord that gets sold every year in Israel, right? There's a lot of division that happens on Facebook and Instagram and in person and all that type of stuff. And we always end up coming around Passover, trying to forgive everybody for their sins against each other, because you can't come to the Passover with them grudges in your heart, right? Them hate for your brothers and sisters in your spirit. So, I was going to bring out Luke 18 and 9 to explain how brothers need to stop exalting themselves over people. And, Proverbs 6 and 16 to explain why you don't need to be sowing discord. But it's the same crap every year that we bring out. And it still happens. So this year, I'm going to just say, I'm going to bring a lot of that out during the lesson, in the part that I get to say something. But main thing is that I want everybody to understand, at least for this year, right? There's things we need to be progressing at as a nation that we haven't really been progressing at, right? Brotherhood, sisterhood is one of those things. All right, I'm gonna go back off the camera because I look like a robot. So, but yeah, the brotherhood and the sisterhood are things that we haven't really perfected yet as a body. And I think as a nation, we need to get to the point where brotherhood and sisterhood shouldn't be determined based off your doctrine, right? If you are an Israelite and you see the person next to you as an Israelite, shouldn't matter whether they celebrate the full moon or the dark moon, or they've Passover was 3 weeks ago or it's next week or whatever, right? It should only be based on whether they feel like they're an Israelite and they're keeping the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of their ability, right? And they're trying to take back their culture that was taken from them, that they discontinued from, right? And that they're trying to follow the old path as we were commanded to do back in the day, right? As long as they're trying to do those things, and if they're a teacher that they're teaching other people to do those things, then you have no reason to hate on them. You have no reason to sow discord. You have no reason to not dislike anybody, right? No matter what your personal grievances are. It don't matter what type of situations you had in the past. It don't matter what type of splits you had, right? If we're talking about camps and congregations, brothers need to get back on the same accord as far as being brothers again, right? That's the main thing. Yeah, Hebrews 13:1. We got to brotherly love has only continued to an extent. Brotherly love got to start for it to continue, Brown, right? And for a large portion of the community, brotherly love ain't really start, because some camps say you're not a brother if you ain't got on this color and wear this color, right? If you don't most high in Christ bless, right? Or if you don't believe in this dude being the head over all Israel, or whatever the situation is, right? We don't need to be on that level no more. That crap is played out, is dead. If I ain't in this camp, I shouldn't be looked at as any less as an Israelite, right? If I don't celebrate the feast day the same time as you, I shouldn't be looked at as any less as a brother.
Right.
If I'm a little more light skinned, but I could prove my nationality, I shouldn't be looked at as any less of a brother. Or if I'm super dark skinned and I got the nappy naps and the little, the beady beads and stuff, and I got an accent, I shouldn't be looked at as any less of a brother, right? Like, that's the facts. No matter how funny it is, no matter you like it, understand it, believe it or not, right? We got to get back on the same accord as far as being brothers. And that's what's going to get us in the right spirit, right? That's what's going to lead to everything else. Once we get to the point where we could actually be brothers again, you don't got to worry about teaching Zephaniah 2:1 all the time, because you're naturally gathered together, you brothers, right? Like you do with the camps you're already cool with. Y'all just naturally, you can hit a brother up. Hey, y'all want to come have a unity camp? Yeah, we'll be there. Hey, we having a school opening. Y'all gonna pull up? Yeah, we there. Whatever it is, right? Why we don't do that with everybody? Why everybody ain't got on that level yet? All you niggas is Facebook friends, Instagram friends. You got TikTok together, Twitter, all that crap, right?
Right.
But everybody ain't cool like that. We need to get cool like that. One of them Nation of Islam brothers, see another Nation of Islam brother, he could be a fruit of Islam. His hat say FOI on it, the other dude hat say NOI on it. They both got the ugly little bow tie, the skinny white man suit, no beard, and they going, hey, what's up, my brother? How you doing? And they gonna shake each other hand, right?
Mm-hmm.
Put their little white Michael Jackson glove on and do the beat it, right? All that. Sell they bean pies and tell lies. But they gonna do it on one accord because they part of the same team, right? No matter that they got two different names on their forehead, that they ugly ass bow tie is two different colors, they still gonna be on the same team and they gonna act like it. We got to get to that level where we on the same team, we know it, and we act like it. So that's my message for the spiritual part, right? Brotherly love got to start. It ain't continue. It can't continue because it ain't start yet.
Right.
We've been brotherly hating for years. Niggas are still fighting each other on YouTube. You can find a video from this year and last year of brothers fighting each other on YouTube from two different camps. You can find videos from elders having arguments in public from the year before that, and it having to be a big old debacle and stuff. We still having issues like that. Why the Nation of Islam ain't got no fights on YouTube? World Star.
Right.
The Nawapians ain't got no World Star fights. The Morris Science Duck Monkeys ain't got no fights. Only person fighting from the community is young Pharaoh, and he's an MMA fighter.
Right.
And the black Hebrew Israelites. We got to stop that. Y'all got to stop being black. Right? So that's my message for that. Give me Matthew 5:9.
Con. The book of Matthew, chapter 5 and verse 9. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God.
Mm-hmm.
Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven.
Yeah, from now on, if a brother do something bad for you, just take it as persecution and smile.
Right.
He your brother. Turn the other cheek. That's what that means. No Diddy.
Con.
I know you watch it, Java. Had to say it. But yeah. So that's the situation there, right? We got to be the peacemakers, not just with the other people. Forget them for right now. We got to be the peacemakers with each other first, right? Once we can become brothers and we let our light shine amongst each other, it'll be easier to shine it to the other people. Y'all putting one foot in front of the other. Some of y'all is trying to wake up the other nations and get on one accord with the Christianites and stuff like that and invite the heathen into the congregation, and you ain't even cool with the nigga next to you.
Right. That part.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all putting one foot before the other foot. We gotta, you can't walk like that's how you walk, but you're losing balance, right? You got multiple sclerosis, no pun intended. You got to get your balance back, right? So that's the situation we in. We got to put our foot down and get our balance back as brothers and sisters, because y'all be fighting too. We see it, we hear it. So I gotta chill out. All right, Philippians 2:2. And then we're going to get into the exciting part of the lesson. I'm going to stop there. So that's the Passover prep for this year, right? Get the leaven out your house physically. Get the leaven out your spirit, right? And the spiritual leaven is, like I said, malice, wickedness. If you got things that you been supposed to stop doing, that you know you was been supposed to stop doing, that you still doing, stop doing it. If you go come to our Passover, don't come to our Passover doing it. We stop for a week, please. Or stay your black, Hispanic, or Native American behind at home. You can watch it on YouTube, right? We'll be live, I think, maybe, hopefully. So, yeah, that's what I advise y'all to do, though, right? Get yourselves right with each other. Get yourselves right with the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Be blameless and get your clear conscience. The clear conscience comes with us not having anything to worry about with the Most High, right? It comes with us realizing, okay, I'm good. I'm straight now. You know what I'm saying? When you feel like you can call yourself perfect, I almost said when you feel like you can call yourself perfect, you can come to the Passover, but we might not have nobody there. So let me say this year, that should be the goal, right? For next year, to make yourself perfect. You know, when you be at camp and the Christians say, "Are you perfect? Huh? Can any of you brothers say you're perfect?" I want every brother in our camp, and any brother watching, any brother in any camp, right? Because we all gonna be standing together, right? That's the goal. So I want all the brothers and the sisters, when that sets us, to be able to say, "Yeah," right? That's the example we're supposed to be.
That's right.
I don't want us to be like, "No, we go off sometimes." No, yeah, we perfect. Yeah, look me in my eye. Yes, I didn't sin today. That's what I want us to be able to say, right? That's the goal. So that's what we should be at. It's gonna be 20. It's 2024 now, right? Our new year just started, so it's 2024 now. We got to get to the point where we righteous. The righteous generation can't be a righteous generation if the generation before it can't stop sinning. You got to be an example to show them what it's like, right? How they gonna know what it's like if they can't see it? That's why Hamashiach Yahushua is in the Bible. He's there for us to be able to see it. Job is there for us to be able to see it, right? We ask to be perfect for us to know that it's possible. Why he gonna ask you to do something you can't do? Right?
There you go.
We got things like I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, because you're supposed to get the strength through seeing what he did to show you that you can do it too. You can be perfect. So when they ask you next year, are you perfect? You're supposed to say, yeah. You had something you was gonna say, not?
Nah, you actually just brought it out. I was gonna say, were we not commanded to be perfect?
Mm-hmm. We were. Why he gonna ask you to do something that you can't do?
That's right.
I thought God don't give no battle to people that, can't handle it. Right? He give no burden to anybody that can't bear it. Why he give you the burden of being perfect and you can't do it? It don't make no sense. It's like asking you to eat, but you can't. Your mouth is wired shut. It wasn't that difficult, though. It's not. He told you the laws ain't grievous.
That's right.
So don't make them grievous. Just do it. Nike. Right? So did we get Philippians 2:2? No, let's get that.
Con. Actually, that was my fault.
Let's have some fun.
I was there, but I left it.
Oh, my bad. I was resembling.
This is the book of Philippians, chapter 2, and verse 2. Fulfill ye my joy, that ye be like-minded, having the same love, being of one accord, of one mind. Verse 3, let nothing be done through strife or vainglory, but in lowliness of mind, let each esteem other better than themselves.
You see that? You're supposed to esteem your brothers better than yourself, even if you don't know that brother. When you dap him up, you greet him, you never met him, yo, man, make him feel like he's somebody, right? Your brothers. It's how it's supposed to be. We got to be like-minded. That's not to say we all got to believe the full moon is the new moon, or the dark moon is the full moon, or two can't walk together unless they be agreed. That ain't what that's talking about.
Right.
Brother, sir. It's not what that's talking about. Be like-minded means, hey, you keep your commandments? Yeah.
That's right.
You teaching other people to keep the commandments? Yeah.
Yeah.
You keep the feast days? Yeah. You believe that the Bible is your heritage? Yeah.
Right.
Are you teaching people that it's their heritage? Yeah.
Right.
Okay. We like-minded. Guess what? We can walk together because we agree. Duck monkey. See that? So that's what it's supposed to be like. We're like-minded. Not the whole doctrine is the same. Hamashiach Yahushua already told us that part ain't gonna get straight till he come back, right? He gonna set us on one accord when he returns. But until then, be like-minded. Meaning, see those that are trying to come back to the law. See those that are trying to accept their heritage and come back to it and teach other people to do so, right? In whatever way they're doing it. He already told us, don't judge men in meat and feast day, new moon, right?
Right.
Don't worry about that. That's not what's important right now. As long as they're doing it, as long as they're rehearsing the righteous acts of the Lord, they your brother, they your sister. That's your mother, your father. Well, your father's the Most High. But you know what I mean. That's your mashpaka, the family. Right? So that's what we have to get back to feeling like. All this semantic, personal, political, Hebraically correctness gotta stop. Because that's not what is supposed to make us like-minded. That's not what puts us in a situation where we agree and can walk together. Us agreeing and can walk together means, hey, you believe in Christ? Yeah.
Right.
He your Lord and Savior? Yeah. You believe we got to have faith plus works? Yeah. What's the works? Keeping the law, statutes, commandments. Oh, we like-minded. Notice I ain't say, when you keep the new moon. Hey, what set you from? What's your can? Who you rep? You say shalom, shalom, shalom. Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shabarakatah, and Most High in Christ bless. You dap up or you shake the hand. All that crap don't matter.
Right.
Y'all make it matter, but it don't matter. It's not supposed to matter. Yahuwah, Yahweh, Yahweh, Yahoshua. It don't matter.
Nope.
You'll find out when he come. Or when you call the name in the last day and it don't work, you knew it was the wrong one. But for right now, it don't matter. Right? That's how you got to think about it. And that is my challenge for y'all come this new year, during this new year, because we already here, right? So that's that on that. All right. Passover prep. Hope y'all enjoyed it. If y'all got any questions, leave a comment. We'll answer it. I'll answer it in the chat or I'll respond to the comment. Or if we don't, I'll hop on a Yahweh's class at the end and I'll answer the questions. Or we might do that on Friday or whatever. But yeah, just if you got questions, you can ask them, right? Or you can ask them during this class and we'll answer them before I get off. So with that being said, last 2 weeks, or not last week, but the last 2 weeks before last week, we were doing this series called Black Jewish Relations, right? And we got some pretty good videos where we went over the history of how the Black and the Jewish people were supposed to be connected, which is why they created Black and Jewish Relations. But we found out through the history from Mr. Fagin himself, and through the history of the Rothschilds, and through Mr. Steve Coakley in his research from the Boule and everything like that, right? We were able to find out through their research that, well, the Black and Jewish relations was just a thing to cover up how the Jewish man stole our identity. And the relations that they created with us was a way for them to prop us up, to put us kind of on the same accord with them so that it never looks like we have an identity that needs to be taken back because they stole it. And there's all of these privileges that come with their identity, right? So Fagin was telling us how they gave us the Black celebrity, right? Through, I forgot what that white guy named that was cool with the Rothschild. He was the Rothschild. I forget the granddaddy name, but Granddaddy Rothschild in there. Let me see if I can put that up right quick. Hold on a second. Yeah. So we had the B'nai B'rith organization, right? Which is how the ADL was founded. We went over that.
Right.
And we had this Jewish philanthropist, Julius Rosenwald, who started the Rosenwald Fund, which is how we get the first Black celebrities in America, right after slavery, right? The Rosenwald Fund is what propped up these Black people. So your famous jazz singers, back in the day, your rock and roll guys, the first Black folks, they was doing putting on the silent TV shows. Instead of doing the blackface, they put the big ear Black guy on TV. They put him on TV through the Rosenwald Fund, right? And you can look that up on Wikipedia. It gives you all the names of the people, the years they came out, and all that type of stuff, right? Rosenwald Fund would later turn into Walt Disney, right? Your record labels, all that type of stuff, right? So they're still doing the same thing today. That's why the Jewish people run those organizations, media and the music and stuff like that. It's all through, the Rosenwald guy. And the whole plan of his fund was to spend $72 million during that time period of the 1930s, 1908 to the 1930s, rather, right? Through the Sears Corporation, where most of you used to get your appliances from back in the day, right? And your cheap shoes and stuff like that, right? Outdoor equipment. Well, the guy that founded Sears also founded all your Black celebrities. They spent $72 million funding us, putting us in a position where we could have a boule in America, right? And they gave these people the opportunity to fund their colleges and make the NAACP and, HBCUs and the Greek fraternities and, all these different things that could be avenues for Black people to be put in these secret organizations to gatekeep for the good old Jewish man, right? Who stole your identity. And all of this would be hidden under the guise of Black and Jewish relations from the public eye, right? So your Black people and your Jewish people are supposed to be Democrats, unless, of course, they're the business Jewish people, right? Your gay people, Democrats, right? And we realized that the business Jewish people were funded by the Rothschilds, right? And the, docile people of the world, which they wanted the Black people funded by, and the gay people and all them other people, right? They were funded by the Rockefellers, which is why your Jay-Z got to be who he is today, because he started the Rockefeller label to play off of the people he found out was running everything for the niggas, right? That's why Jay-Z's where he's at. For those of you that didn't know that and didn't catch it from the video. But moving on, story for another time. So we got B'nai B'rith, we got the founders of the ADL, we got and we went over, FS Cherry and how he funded his Hebrew Israelite movement in the 1886 time period, right, in Tennessee. And also William Crowdy, who also had his own movement from 1893 on. And this is the same period where Julius Rosenwald and the Jewish people are creating the B'nai B'rith organizations to counter what these so-called black men are waking up so-called black and Hispanic people to in America right after slavery, right?
Right.
We proved that. If you didn't watch it, go watch those 2 videos. So that's a little history and a recap. Now we're going to get to what happened recently happened. If you watched Yehuda's video on Putin, he gave some pretty good information in there to lead into why and how this video is important. It also spoke on some things that Fagin spoke about, which we're going to point out today, right? So the thing with Putin was what? Him showing the icons, right? So today we're going to go over a little bit of the history of the icons, because a lot of you don't know that. Well, Putin isn't on your side. He wasn't doing that because he loves black people. He wasn't doing that because he worships a black Jesus and a black Mother Mary and all that crap that people try to tell you. That's a damn lie. Shout out to the phenomenal priest Daniela, right? He just put out a video, I think this Saturday or last Saturday, maybe. I don't remember, but it was a recent video in the last 2 weeks where he showed a clip that I'm actually going to show you guys after this video, where he talks about how the Russians, for the last 40 years, have been trying to whiten the pictures of the icons that they have in those vaults, in those cathedrals, right?
Right.
That's why when you look online, you can find some of the same pictures really dark, some of them a little bit light, and some of them extremely light. That's because the final picture is not a fake. That's what they look like now when you go to the cathedral. They're not as dark as the original pictures might have been, some of them, right? But you can't, you could make the afro look brown instead of black, but it's still an afro. You know what I mean? You can make his nose look, light tan instead of dark brown, but it's still a big ass black man nose, right? So that's kind of the things that they haven't been able to change, because contrary to popular knowledge, Russia, Bulgaria, Ukraine, Poland, they're places where Europe never had a Renaissance, right? There was never a Russian Renaissance. That's why the paintings of the black people still exist. There was a new birth in, England because, well, according to Malachi and according to the history, Russia and the Caucasus and that area is where they came down from, right? So when they rebuilt, the place that they began the rebuilding wasn't Russia. It was further down. It was Europe, Britain, Rome, right? England, I should say. Britain, Rome, right? A little bit of France.
Right.
I wouldn't even say they were in Germany yet. They moved to Germany afterwards because we were still there, right? That's why Nature Knows No Color Line is a book that exists. Shows you why people that are black that have the name Moore, they didn't get there from a slave master. They slave master stole their name and then never took it away, right? Just changed the spelling. Stewart, that was your last name back in the day. King James got the same name. It means black. It's a German rendition of Swarth, right? And the German language is not very different from the Russian language. For those of you that don't know, it's damn near the same as far as the dialect is concerned. Just the characters are different from the language barrier, right? Well, from the language standpoint. But they can communicate with each other because the dialect itself isn't really different. So, yeah, if we were in Germany, best believe we were in Russia. We've showed you the German part through Nature Knows No Color Line, different lessons. Today, we're going to go over the history of the icons. But first, AI Donald Trump has a message for everybody. For those who don't know, artificial intelligence isn't always, its intelligence isn't always artificial, right? Unless you're talking artificial from the standpoint of it was given to it by somebody that actually has real knowledge of something. So That's how artificial intelligence gains its intelligence. It's programmed with that intelligence, and it keeps it. Has a brain that can hold the capacity of knowledge bigger than anybody else's, so it never forgets, right? This is stuff that America and other nations have had in their capacity for a long time. That's why they've been able to store all this information, right? They've just made it publicly available now for investment purposes, not to the standpoint that they have it, but to the standpoint that we can get it. So now you guys are hearing AI and its capabilities, and well, they've made AI Donald Trump tell you what they already know. And Putin. Just pay attention for a second. Shout out to Elder Lahab for making this. Blaze Judah, shout out to you too.
This video.
All right.
We've opened 3. This is Donald Trump. Donald Trump made a video about the 144,000. He said they are black.
Italians were Italians.
Y'all can't hear that, huh?
What's?
No, we can hear it. I can hear it.
You can hear it?
Mm-hmm.
I can't hear it. Hold on a second. Wait a minute. Oh, hold on. My bad, guys. Let me fix this right quick. There we go. All right. My fault.
Putin has opened up Pandora's box and it cannot be.
Here we go.
These are the first fruit. The 144,000 is sealed and awake. I don't think the Kabbalah understand what this means.
All right. Salakia, you know.
Chosen ones are already awoke.
Let's rewind it. All right. This is AI Donald Trump. I know other brothers have spoke about it. I don't know if they said it was AI or not because I ain't pay attention. But if you watch his mouth, he's clearly not saying what's being said. But it's his voice and it's artificial intelligence, which means somebody programmed it with the knowledge of this. And I don't think it was a black person, right? Because, you know, for ChatGPT to get information and us not being people that program ChatGPT, that means it got the information that it has programmed in it from somebody that has the information that could program ChatGPT. So just put it out there.
These are the first fruit. The 144,000 is sealed and awake. I don't think the Kabbalah understand what this means. The chosen ones are already awoke and gaining all of their memories. This means bad business. They know what's coming. Just picture this.
Notice he said gaining all of their memories, right? Because the Christians always talk about the Holy Spirit, and according to what's that, John 14:26? Mm-hmm. The Holy Spirit is supposed to bring all things to the chosen's remembrance, to the 144,000's remembrance. And ChatGPT just told everybody that the 144,000 is getting all their memories back. How about they know something that the regular Christians don't, huh? Pastors just ask ChatGPT what the Bible really means, and we won't have any problems. We won't have to teach nobody anything. It's crazy.
144,000 black people with superpower godlike abilities. Me and Putin try to warn them we're dealing with something we don't quite understand.
He says him and Putin try to warn them they're dealing with something they don't quite understand. Putin never tried to warn anybody that, right? Putin has tried to warn the church that they've done things to wake us up inadvertently, which we'll kind of see in a little bit. But he's never actually said exactly what they've said publicly, which makes me think they probably had discussions like this privately, because Putin still gets invited to the United Nations meetings and stuff like that. Y'all know that, right? Even though they act like they hate Russia and China and all that stuff, they still get in the same room when they go to Davos every year, and when they go to the United Nations every year, and when they have the G7 and the G20 and the G10s and the G15 meetings and stuff, right?
Yeah.
All of that. You know what I'm saying? So don't let the news fool you.
Ancient gods, primordial.
Ladies and gentlemen, people of Russia, today we stand on the precipice of a monumental revelation, a moment that redefines not only our understanding of history, but also the path forward for our great nation. In an extraordinary discovery hidden beneath centuries of lore and legend, we have opened what can only be described as the oldest vault known to mankind. What we found within its ancient confines challenges the very fabric of our beliefs and heralds a new dawn for our country.
Hey man, y'all hit the like button, bro. When y'all come in the building, Baba Kasha. Some of y'all hit the like button. The water.
Within this vault, we discovered figures of biblical proportions, characters.
This book that he's talking about, ladies and gentlemen, is not called the Black Jesus book. It's not called the book with Black Jesus. It's not called the book with the Black Christians in it. It's called the Russian Icons. And it's not just one book. There's multiple volumes of this book that they've made. And the price range of these volumes, depending on who's actually in the book, could go anywhere from $20 to $1,899. Just to let you know. So some of y'all probably never gonna get the book with the real good pictures, but lucky for you, those are already on the internet.
That many have read about, debated, and revered. These figures, preserved against the sands of time, reveal a truth that is as profound as it is transformative. They are all black.
They all black. Blackity black, black and black. This picture no longer looks like this. This is an older version of that picture that they've taken to show you for this, video. When you go to St. Basil Cathedral now, which is a cathedral in Russia, for and by and in commemoration of a so-called black man. We're also going to prove from the Presidential Library in America that when they have saint anything in these pictures, they're talking about Israelites, which is also ironic. We're going to prove that. In the Presidential Library of America, to prove also ChatGPT knows that American presidential candidates and the people in the Congress and the House and all them other people, they know exactly who we are because they have it publicly, who they know the saints are. It's not just Christian people. And then they draw the picture of the saints and they have them in their presidential library, which I'm going to show you, not just in Russia. They're in, the island of Patmos in Greece. They still have pictures of Black John, right? On the island of Patmos, all those things. And guess what? You don't have to buy the $1,800 book because
that's right.
Revelation, this undeniable truth stands before us not as a contradiction to our faith, but
this is Saint Clement, very important person. We'll get to that in a minute.
As a testament to the diversity and unity that faith embodies. As your president, I see this moment not as a challenge to our beliefs,
that was Moses,
but as an opportunity to embrace a wider, more inclusive understanding.
It's the translation
of our history and spirituality. Russia.
Okay, I was wrong. The first one was Peter. That was Saint Clement. I get them confused. The one with all crosses is Saint Clement. The one with 2 crosses is Peter, the rock.
In its rich tapestry of cultures, traditions, and people, is uniquely positioned to lead the world into this new era of understanding and acceptance. From this day forward, let us proclaim our nation under the guidance of Black Jesus, a figure.
Funny. We know they're not going to be under the guidance of Black Jesus. That's a damn lie. But it's funny because this is all done to cause division, right? Man, this is gonna be crazy. So, like I said, y'all hit the like button when y'all come in the building. I want to show you guys something, because first thing first, before we get into the Russian icon history, it's important for you guys to know who actually made the Russian icons book, because some of you guys think Vladimir Putin did that because he loves us. No, he hates you. He's whitening those pictures right now as we speak. You feel me? I'm gonna show you one of his people in the St. Basil Cathedral telling you we found out how to whiten the pictures, and we've been doing it. She's actually gonna say it on TV in Russian because it wasn't supposed to come to us. Just shout out to YouTube, right? But before we do that, I want to show you guys a picture of the man and his sons who commissioned the Russian icons, right? He happened to be a king in Russia. His sons were princes in Russia. He also happened to be the same complexion as the great Knock they dedicated. And their beard is kind of shaped the same way too. Check this out. This is Saint Vladimir, not Putin, but Vladimir. I think his last name is Muter, something like that. I'll get that for you in a minute because I ain't gonna lie to that.
It's like it.
Yeah, what's good?
Can you blow that up a little bit? The paint.
Let
the
me
picture?
see if I could blow it up. How well can y'all see that? Because I can't. Hold on. Let me.
There you go. That looks good.
Yeah, look good. Y'all can see that.
God.
This is the Vladimir who created the Russian icons, right? This is the King Vladimir, right? He's the man who basically Kiev is there because of him. Yaroslav, the city of Yaroslav, where they have a lot of this art at, is there because of him. Yaroslav also is a person we're going to talk about because it's one of his sons, right? He had many sons, and many sons had Father Vladimir, right? So check this out. This is Boris and Gleb, right? They're also two very famous people in Russian history and society. They were killed by their brother on some Cesare Borgia-ish. But besides that, they founded cities, and this man is the reason we have the Russian icons. And it wasn't just Russians that he had commemorated. He had Bulgarians commemorated, Poland's commemorated, even Romans from the first period, right? Like Clement, the first pope, who was a nigga, right? So, we'll prove all of that later in a second. But Priest Daniela made a video, and instead of me giving my own information, why not, let the man that taught me the stuff give it to y'all, since he just made one, right? I ain't gonna watch the video I got to see originally or hear the information he got to tell me in person, but you'll get to hear what he wanted to give y'all for free on the YouTube. So I'm gonna play his video for a second, but I wanted to show you what they look like first so you know who's being spoken about. So the makers or the commissioners, somewhat, as you would say, King James was the commissioner of the King James Bible, right? He didn't make it, but he had 47 Hebrew and Greek scholars commission it, right? This would be the guy who commissioned these black paintings to be painted. It wasn't a white person, it was him, right? And the rulers after him that also commissioned these things to be painted also looked the same way. Many of them were his sons. So we're going to get into that now, right? Just want to show you a little bit of that. So let's get into Priest y'all this video right quick. Let me see where I want to start. I got like 10 minutes of this I want to show strategically. All right, 57. Let's get it. Like I said, y'all hit the like button when y'all come into the building. I suggest y'all go watch this entire video. It's a phenomenal video if you like history. He gave you some things. He don't give you all the jewels. And some of the books he gives, you can no longer buy because I hadn't bought them yet, and I bought them when I saw this because I forgot to buy them. And one of them, I bought the last book, so I'm sorry, but I'll have it for y'all if you want to see it. The other ones, they're still available, but he even told you the sauce, right? If a bunch of y'all try to go get it at the same time, they're gonna raise the price. He did the Russian icon book because people like Yakum, y'all went and bought it, and now can't nobody else get it unless you got $1,900. Shout out to Yakum, yeah, right? So we're gonna play this video. This is a people from the museums and the cathedrals in Russia. So they're gonna tell you what they do with these pictures. And also how they explain to the white people in Russia how they got black. Because contrary to popular belief, all these black Hebrew Israelites, you know what I'm saying, that ain't never did no research before, tell you all the time that these Russian people just serve and worship the people and, the black people because they got these pictures. Well, they're actually telling the people when they go into the museums that the pictures became black over time, right? Priest Daniela asked the question, well, the pictures became black over time, but the only thing that got black was their faces and their hands.
Right.
The color of their garments didn't get black. The horses and the buildings in the back didn't get black. The ground they're standing on didn't turn black, but everything else on their body did, right? So that's the misconception. But most of the people in Russia got blonde hair. And you know what they say about blondes?
It's a remarkable exhibition.
It's an exhibition which beats the senses. Everything is so gray outside at the moment. And here suddenly it's a feast for the eyes.
And it's a feast.
Look at that. Look at that. The wall. Look at the white veil that he's wearing, and then look at the face, how brown it is. Look at the hands. This is black artwork in Russia. We don't have to make it up. We don't have to. All we have to do is just look.
See, now you don't gotta go to the St. Basil Cathedral or the cathedrals in Yaroslav or Yaroslav, Slovakia. You could just watch the videos brothers make, right? And like the video, and comment and share them so other people can see them too, right?
They're telling you to look, but don't look. Look, but don't look. See, but don't see. That's what they want you to do, and stay ignorant.
Before then, they were mainly viewed as religious objects, often left blackened over the centuries by the passage of time and added layers of paint.
You heard them? They were blackened over the centuries through the passage of time.
Rewind that. I didn't hear that, Kev. Rewind it real quick.
You gonna say it? Hold on. Yeah.
So he said that they were left blackened over time
and added layers of paint. Objects often left blackened over the centuries by the passage of time and added layers of paint.
So he said,
did you hear that? Blackened over the centuries of time, adding layers of paint. What you don't understand is the reason why Jesus had that little narrow ass nose is because that's part of the narrow paint. I mean, the layers of paint that they added. See, as they lighten the pictures and are able to add a layer of paint to then make the picture look like a picture again, because as they lighten it, it loses a little bit of its contrast, right? So to have a really good artist come in and commission them to just touch the painting up a little bit using lighter colors that match the contrast of the painting after they've lightened it, right? And it goes through a series of these phases. It's called iconoclasm.
Said that they were left blackened over time or added layers of paint. Yeah, that would be true, except in this very image, you have Christ, Yahweh Shai, right here enthroned. This is the not enthroned, Salaki. This is a icon of the transfiguration, right?
When he goes up to the Father, right, to sit on the right hand, and brothers see him go up. They actually painted that, and it's right next to Putin. It ain't in the vault of the Vatican. You could take a damn plane ticket, go to Yaroslav or the St. Basil Cathedral, walk up in there like this lady did, and take you a picture. They tell you these things because they don't want you to go look for it. Or you can do what I did and Google it.
This guy wearing a white garment, you can see the face is black and the hands are black. This guy wearing a white garment, this is Christ. So if it was blackened over time, I just need to understand, why is it that the garment wasn't blackened over time too?
God.
Yeah, how everything blackened, but the white thing didn't get black. Do that make sense, Knock?
Absolutely no.
All the red stay red, the green stay green, the
Right.
off-white in the picture stay off-white, and the white stay white, but everything on their bodies got black over time, where they had to add a layer of paint.
To lighten it up.
Crazy. But like I said, all the people that look like Jean-Claude Van Damme up in there gonna believe it.
Why not?
Because if they don't, it's gonna destroy everything they ever believed in, priest.
Why is it that only the faces and hands of these icons are blackened over time? What about this house right here? Or whatever this is? How come
it used to be white, I guess. Now it's pink, blackened over time.
Right.
I mean, pink and over. I don't know. It don't make sense.
From this right here, this thing didn't turn black over time? Right here, back here, this tannish to white color. How come this didn't turn black over time? Why only the faces and hands of the patron saints are the only things that blackened over time? Do you know why, brothers and sisters? Because that is a lie. And they're mad because we don't woke up and found this stuff out. That's why.
Listen carefully to this.
How to remove the discovered underneath.
Oh, y'all missed that. You missed that. Listen again. Listen again.
How to remove the dark layers.
No. Sorry.
When we learned how to remove the dark layers, we discovered underneath an overwhelming beauty.
So
we learned how to remove the dark layers, and underneath we discovered overwhelming beauty.
Wow.
She just said, when we make the pictures look lighter, they look beautiful. As if to say, when they dark, like the great Knock the Dedicated, that picture look ugly. She called you ugly, Knock. She called me ugly too. But you see what I'm saying? So don't think they love you over there. Oh, Putin and the Pope worship Black Jesus. No, they don't. They worship tan Jesus. And when he turned white 50 years later, they're going to be worshiping white Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? What they're doing is trying to pray to the real picture so that God doesn't destroy them as he did Egypt. That's what Hitler told you, right? Guys, gotta remember, if you paid attention to the last lesson we did with Fagin speaking, Fagin told you that since the Tsar state in Russia, which was black, we're going to talk about the Tsars, that was our people, right? The Rothschilds wanted to get rid of the Tsars. Fagin showed a picture of a white guy. Guess what? They were white then, but the Tsar state had to be destroyed because the word Tsar came from black people. Guess what Tsar is a rendition of? What is a prince in Hebrew? How do you say that? What's the root word in Yasharallah? Shar, right? Shar is how you say prince in Hebrew, right? Sar is how you say prince in Aramaic. Tsar is how you say prince or king or ruler in Russian, right? Why is that? Because the people that were ruling when the word was created weren't Putin's folks. It was us.
That's right.
Okay?
That's right.
I'm reloaded. Now watch. Watch. Hold on, let me see. Is there more I want to put on?
Sorry, y'all.
Centuries by time.
I want you guys to hear what she said. That was very important. So
just one more time for the road.
When we learned how to remove the dark layers.
That's what I wanted. They've learned how to remove the quote unquote dark layers. That's why after a while, some of the artwork starts looking pale.
And we're going to show you examples of that as we go, right? So now that you've heard that, yeah, what's good?
Let's bring out. I'm going to bring out a precept on that because that has to be.
Please do. I was going to ask you for a precept on that. I think I know what you're going to.
Well, I got two, but I'm just going to go to one that kind of is a little bit more recent. I'm going to go to Maccabees.
Yeah.
It's the book of First Maccabees, chapter 1. Oh, kind. All praises. The book of First Maccabees, chapter 1, and verse 48, and it reads. Oh, I'm in the wrong one. Sorry.
Yeah, Second Maccabees.
No, that's right. I'm in the wrong chapter.
Oh, okay.
It's the book of First Maccabees, chapter 3, and verse 48, and it reads, "And laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images."
All right.
Okay.
So the heathen sought to paint the likeness of their images, right? They painted us, well, themselves as us, right? Or, as you see in Russia, because they haven't gone through a real renaissance until now, they're going through the renaissance right now. And the way they're doing their renaissance, instead of repainting the pictures, they're just lightening them. And then when they add a touch of paint to give it its color back, they might, change the nose structure here and there. Instead of keeping the afro, they might give him a big ass forehead to make it like he's a melon head. But when you find the original picture, you find out his forehead wasn't that big.
Right.
He didn't look like the brain from Pinky and the Brain for real. That was an afro, and they covered it up with forehead. Right? We'll show you those things before the end of the lesson today. So, first thing I want to show, no Diddy, is this right here. I don't know if y'all can see it. Can y'all see that, or do I need to zoom in?
Zoom in just a little bit. Okay. A little bit more. A little bit more.
A little bit more. A little bit more. All right. Wow.
There we go.
I know y'all can see that. Okay, so look. I'm gonna tap these for you. You see this?
God.
Do you see this? Huh? This is Boris and Gleb and their little brother, Yaroslav, the wise, right? So Boris, Gleb, Yaroslav, and these three are important. These are the three most important sons of Vladimir, the man who commissioned the Russian icons, right? He had some other important sons too, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Iconography of Boris and Gleb, right? You see all the pictures and stuff like that. These are real pictures of them, authentic. Where is this from?
Was it Mother Russia?
The Russian Presidential Library, because Russia's part of the United Nations. All of the United Nations have a presidential library or a prime ministerial library where they put these things of their nation in it, right? For example, the Balfour Declaration I've shown you guys in the Harry Truman Presidential Library, right? Because it's there for you to read it due to their agreement as a corporation and the United Nations. All the United Nations corporations have to make everything public to the employees of the corporation, which would be you guys, according to your social security numbers, right? So you have access to the Harry Truman Library and the Balfour Declaration to prove and show without a shadow of a doubt that the Jewish people stole your identity and moved to the nation state of Israel as Israelis instead of Israelites, as Fagin explained to us in the video, right? So like this is the Russian Presidential Library, and it's showing you these black people that founded their most treasured cities and places in Russia, right? In Ukraine and Bulgaria. And it's just more pictures. That's Gleb, or that's Boris. This is Gleb, right? So
Salaki, Cap.
Yeah.
Can you go back to that first picture? I think when they were maybe younger, when they were all grouped together.
And you see here, they kind of even made him look a little whitish.
That's the point I was going to. That's
right?
the point I was going to make. Yeah, you brought it up. Okay.
Yep. You see here, they look more black, right? They already gave him the big forehead to cut off the hair, right? And they put a hat on him. If you look at the picture, right? If you look at the painting, you can see that this is faded and this is not. So you can see that this was added later than this. You see what I'm saying? This is darker than this. So this was touched up. This is not. They're waiting for it to fade away. You guys see what I'm saying? It's very clear to notice once you understand the pictures and the things that have happened. So that's Boris Gleb and Yaroslav, right? From the Presidential Library. Now watch this, because they know who the saints are. And it's amazing. Where we at? All right. Saints in the Russian icons, when you look them up, if you were to go on Google and find a guy, like if you typed in Peter, right? You got to put Saint Peter original icon, and the black picture of Saint Peter will pop up. The reason you got to put Saint Peter is because that's what he's labeled, because back in the day, they would, saint wasn't a word that was synonymous with a football team. It was synonymous with the prophets of the Bible. And we're going to prove that. Saints are especially revered by the church for their righteous life, piety, persistent confession of faith, and possessing the gift of miracles, mediators between God and the people. The character of a Christian exploits of saints is divided into certain ranks, right? The Christian exploit of saints is divided into certain ranks. The iconography of prophets, apostles, and prelates, martyrs, and saints is described in this album. This is an album in the Russian library of the Russian icons. So they're telling you the Russian icons is nothing more than real people in history that are known as prophets, apostles, prelates, martyrs, and saints of the Bible. The prophets call the saints of the Old Testament predicting the appearance of the Savior, the Messiah. apostles, selected disciples of Christ. Saints, hold on, Salaki. Saints or church fathers called the holy hierarchy, the hierarchy saint or saints is what it's supposed to say. Those metropolitans, patriarchs, and bishops. So it could be people that were metropolitan preachers, you know, patriarchal preachers, like people from the patriarchy and everything like that, as far as being passed down the gift of the prophecy and being able to teach, or people that were bishops or, you know, popes like Clement, right? So martyrs are martyrs who died, martyr for their faith in Christ. So you got people like John up there, right? They have actual pictures of the martyrs. Even though they weren't Russian icons, they've drawn black images of those people as well, right? They would also be considered prophets, but they have them there as martyrs if they were martyrs, and they got prophetical pictures of them too. Like you'll see pictures of Paul, right? But then you'll see two different pictures of John, one as a martyr and one as a prophet, right? So that's the type of stuff that we get from the Russian icons, which were commissioned by a black Russian who we know was a saint, who they tell you they know the saints were Israelites, which would also prove that King Vladimir of Russia, founder of Kiev and Yaroslav, is what? An Israelite. Wow. It's beautiful when you know history, right? It's an amazing thing.
Nice.
It's crazy. All right, what else we got? So, all right, let's just go over some of his sons, right? So, where's this thing right here? Let's go over some of the history. I'm gonna have to zoom in on this too, right? Can you see this?
Yeah, it looks good. It's got to raise it up. Yeah.
All right. So as you see, these are already whitened pictures.
Yep.
But this is the history, the age of the icons, right? From the 13th to the 17th century. And if you look at the Russian icons books, they're labeled like this. So you'll see Russian icons, 14th century, and it'll be people from the 14th century, or pictures painted in the 14th century, not just people from then, because there are people from before then and after and all that stuff too. But pictures painted from the 14th century or the 15th or the 16th or the 17th century, right? They'll have it like that in the Russian icons books. And like I said, certain centuries cost more because the pictures are more authentic and they haven't been tampered with. Other centuries, you know, directly in the middle of the Renaissance, those are the ones typically that are lightened and whitened at this point. So, all right. So here I want to show you this, just a little bit of history, right? The history of the Russian icon paintings tells the story of the Russian people and their search for and adoption of religion. The story begins a long ago under the reign of Vladimir, Prince of Kiev. Do you guys know anything of Kiev? Does that name sound familiar to you right now as far as something important happening in Kiev as we speak? If you've been paying attention to the war in Ukraine, Kiev is one of the most important places that they've been fighting over.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know why Vladimir wants Kiev? Do you know why Vladimir made it important to show those pictures at this time?
Bring it out.
Kiev houses some of the important places where these paintings are found.
That's right.
Kiev is a place where this black man, Vladimir, founded. It's his place. It's ours. That's us. Right? If Kiev gets in the hands of the wrong people, these niggas gonna be trying to take Russia like they're trying to take back Israel. We can't have that. So yeah, Kiev was founded by Vladimir 988 AD. Vladimir believed that Russia would become a unified nation if its people practiced one central religion. So he did them like the Muslims. This is Russia's Muhammad. So even though he's black, he's forever engraved in history, because what is Russia's religion today? What have the liars been telling you for years when they seen Putin with them black pictures? Putin, he worships black Jesus. They said that because Russia is still Orthodox Christian today, right? And the biggest myth amongst Orthodox Christianity is that they actually believe in those black paintings that they have in their churches. No. Their thing is they just haven't changed what they know the facts are. Blatantly. They are changing it, but they're doing it underhanded with the lightning of the pictures, right? Mm-hmm. They haven't just repainted them, though. He's saying, I'm not that stupid. Because you have to remember, these are still Hitler's people. Hitler told them who the Jews are. Hitler told them if you disrespect them too much, the Most High going to destroy this place, like he said they would do with Germany, right? The quote from Hitler says he feared they would destroy Germany as he did Egypt, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to believe Russia is fearing that if, too much disrespect was done to these people, that the Most High would destroy Russia, Mother Russia, right? The Russes, as he did Egypt. And they don't want that to happen.
Right.
So they're preserving our art. But instead of showing it to us, which would really be giving honor to our people to let them know that we ruled it, they're keeping it a secret and whitening and lightening it under our noses, right? They made it a fact to show you Jesus was black, but in his mind, he's like, well, if you niggas would just read the Bible, you could see that. It'd tell you. He didn't tell you about everybody else. He didn't show you pictures of Paul. That would have really shook up the church, right? He was really trying to do something. He would have showed you Peter and Paul as black people, right?
Right.
He didn't do that on purpose. He has those pictures. I'm going to show you Paul before we get out of here. I got Paul. Feel me? It's on the internet. You could get Paul too. So that's that, right? Don't think he's on your side. He just wants Kiev back, and Kiev was founded by our people, the Israelites. Vladimir. Vladimir was the Israelite name. The white people stole it. You hear me?
That's right.
Huh? Yeah. Name your dog Vladimir. No, I'm playing. All right, look. So Vladimir believed that Russia would become a unified nation if his people practiced one religion and sent its emissaries to various countries to learn about their religions. One traveled to Constantinople. Where is that? The Byzantine Empire. Who's the Byzantine Empire? The Israelites. Ding, 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 ding. See how this is all coming together now? Was okay. Constantinople and returned, my bad, and returned to Vladimir to report that the religion of the Byzantine Empire from 395 to 1453 Renaissance was inspiring. Why? Because it was their religion, the Israelites' religion, the religion that they knew that their people were already connected to. They just didn't have a name for it because they've been around them crackers that whole time, right? So they went down to good old Byzantine, found out what good old Constantine was doing and all them people, right? And they decide, yeah, we're going to be Christians. But we're going to actually do what the Bible says. And as a result, the prince chose the Byzantine faith of Orthodox Christianity, which is why they do that today, right? It was chosen by the black man, and they never deviated from what he chose because he's the real king of Russia as the religion to bring his country out of turmoil into harmony, right? With this choice came the artistic heritage and decorative style, which is why all the original paintings look the same. We got them big ass eyes, right? Because, well, that's how they used to depict black people. If you look at the old pictures in Germany, if you look at the pictures down in Ethiopia, that's how black people used to draw black people with them certain features, right? To let them know that they was black. So Kiev was no different. All the way in Russia, they paint them like the Ethiopians paint. Because the Ethiopians was just painting how we would paint our people. Because they was trying to take our heritage too. Once they became what? Christian. Are y'all seeing how this connects? Okay. So the use of rich color and emphasis on religious symbolism and the depiction of holy images in forms of icons. Icons is the Greek word for an image, which is also why they copied the, Ethiopian style of pictorial depictions and painting style, because the Ethiopians got their style from the Greeks. That's why they have the little curly looking afros instead of black looking afros, because this is actually a Greek painting style, but it's a black Greek painting style, because you have to remember Septimius Severus was also a Greek, and he was black, and he was an Israelite, the real Spartacus, right? So, by the way, Spartacus was a nigga too, and an Israelite. But anyway, so the icon is a Greek word for image. In the Orthodox world, it came to have a more specific meaning, the representation of a holy personage or event, right? So that's what this is supposed to symbolize. This whole book, or all those different books, are symbolism, right? They're supposed to be pictorial idolizations of these huge symbols in history, right? You're not supposed to idolize them, obviously, but that's what they're supposed to be there for, right? It's supposed to commemorate these people. And eventually they were put in a book, because it wasn't a book originally. It was just these big old paintings that were put in these cathedrals, right? Which are still there today. So the books are copies. And on the internet, it tells you where these copies could be found. Not all of them are in Russia. Like I said, some of them are in Greece on the island of Patmos, which proves John was real and he was actually there. They got some in the Vatican. They got some in the Middle East and other places like Turkey and Jordan and all these different places, right? They all over the world. And Priest Daniela also made mention, right, in his video, if you go watch it, that there's these things called private collections. You know, these rich white people and Asian people and Indian people have these art galleries and stuff like that. These private art shows that they have in these secret underground shows and places and stuff like that, right? Where they pay hundreds of thousands of dollars just for a ticket to spend millions of dollars on a painting that they never gonna show nobody. A lot of these paintings that they show are these icons, right? So these very rich people got money. They know who you are when they walk on the street with you, when they hire you to work at their corporation or their business. They know what you guys are. They know who you are because they got pictures of your ancestors in their damn basement, hanging on their wall in their foyer, right? Right over their expensive china. They got a picture of Moses with the 10 Commandments in the 613 laws, right? And he's black with an afro. Not like Ethiopian black, but like Wesley Snipes, right? And they paid $15 million for the picture. They're not going to show you that. Private collections. So you got to keep that in mind too. Some of these paintings we'll never find. That's part of the prophecy. When it talks about in Jeremiah and Isaiah that the heathen will bring their riches to us, you don't think they're going to be bringing us them pictures that they've been hiding of our ancestors for us to put in our many mansions in the kingdom of heaven? Yeah, we're going to get that. We're going to get that. So that's just a little bit of the icons, right? Just to give you a little history on that. Now, I'm going to show you some more pictures. We're going to get up out of here soon, but you know, it's history. Never could get enough history, guy.
That's right.
So, let me see. Did I put that other thing up here? Hold on a second. Say something right quick for me now. Let me make sure I got this one website.
Yeah, I actually wanted to. Captain Yakum Yah brought out that wanted to post that scripture in First Maccabees 3:48 again.
Yakum Yah need to bring that book up on stage right quick.
Actually, I wanted to go up. He put in 45, so I'm going to read from 45 real quick because this is something that our ancestors had discovered. You know, and they were lamenting over this, but I want to bring out 45 because it just shows where we were, right? So this is First Maccabees chapter 3 and verse 45. It says, "Now Jerusalem lay void as a wilderness. There was none of her children that went in or out. The sanctuary also was trodden down, and aliens kept the stronghold. The heathen had their habitation in that place, and joy was taken from Jacob, and the pipe with the harp ceased. So we already see that when we were not in the land and the heathen took over the land, they destroyed everything. They changed everything, right? And that's what we're seeing here. We're seeing that through time, Esau has always tried a way to cover us and to put them in the forefront, right? I believe Putin is doing this. Well, if this was a true revelation by Putin, bringing out that we are that the people in Russia were us, I think it's number one. I think it's a strategy he's using.
Nah, well, see, Russia didn't show that the people were us.
No.
That. He just showed that Jesus was black.
Right. But it talked about that was I'm sorry, I mixed it up with what Trump was saying. About who we are. Because then you brought the video out with Putin. Yeah. So my apology on that. Yeah. But I think Putin this is a strategy. You brought up the fact that during the time of where Vladimir, the real true black king, established everything, is that area of Kiev, right? This is all crafty counsel. That's all it is. So I don't want our people falling like, oh, now Esau accepts us. They know who we are. They're gonna start changing. No. This is to divide. This is to divide the situation between Esau and his brother over here, the other Edomites over here in America. That's what Putin is doing. Is strategizing. Yep. I yield on that.
That's facts.
All this took place while we were what? Either in the wilderness or in captivity. They were able to take our law, our books, our paintings, our everything that we had, and try to destroy. And you know what? Here's another thing. Though they try to cover things, there is facts that show, and it's been shown, the Pope worships a Black Madonna. There are still orthodoxy over in those lands, like you said earlier, that still try to honor and respect us, or I should say the Black paintings. I guess I don't know if that's some way of them thinking that they're trying to somehow.
They think they're trying to do the right thing, even though they ain't doing the right thing.
Right.
Trying to keep their throne going.
Yep. Kind
of. Hold on a second. Because it's not.
Which book?
Say what now?
He's saying which book?
I thought Yakim Yah had a Russian icons book. He ain't got that? That wasn't him? It was only Iconography that had that?
Oh, is that what he's talking about?
I thought him and Iconography had the icons. Maybe it was only Iconography. Maybe I'm tripping. All right. I don't know why. This is crazy. I had a darker image of Yaroslav, and for some reason, it ain't popping up on the page. But I got it here for y'all. So I'm going to show you on my phone. But this is crazy. I just found it on the internet a second ago, like right before the class. Now I can't find it. All right, but look. So what am I showing you? What I got on the screen right now? All right, so this is Yaroslav, right? The white image of him, light skin. But there's some other things in here too, because they got black images here that they haven't been able to change yet from Yaroslav. So we're gonna get into that in a second. But just to give you guys history on Yaroslav, who's one of the sons of Vladimir, right? He's the wise one. He has a city named after him still in Russia, Yaroslav. And Yaroslav is home to a lot of the famous cathedrals that Russia is known for historically, right? That's where all these were put at, in Yaroslav, Russia. And like I said, Yaroslav is one of the sons of Vladimir and was a brother. Now, right quick, if I can, I don't know if it's going to show. Let me take this thing off my back screen right quick. Bow. Can y'all see this? This is the original icon of Yaroslav, right? And you see there's little images on the side of him and stuff like that. You'll see that on the real images, right? So that's something I want y'all to take into account there. So look, going back to that website, History of Yaroslav from Russmania, right? So this is also a website from Russia. It says, although there is archaeological evidence of Viking settlements dating from 8th to 9th century in the area of modern-day Yaroslav, the city is officially considered to have been founded by Prince Yaroslav the Wise in 1010, making it the first Russian city on the Volga. So they're telling you now, if you are able to read between the lines, that the original people of Russia, the people that founded Russia on the Volga, they're not the Vikings. They're not the descendants of the Vikings. They're not related to the Vikings. They were Viking settlements, but Yaroslav on the Volga in the Russian settlements was founded by Prince Yaroslav, who they're clearly making a distinction from the Vikings. Does everybody see that and understand that? You see that now?
God.
All right. So the Vikings, as we know, they're Edomites, right? So-called white people. Yaroslav, as I just showed you, is not a so-called white person.
Right.
This image, he got the same garment on, but they made it a different color. They gave him a white man beard and a light-skinned face, right? And he's holding one of the cathedrals, because that's what he's known for. That place is known for that, right?
Right.
So let me read this part right here. This is based on the fact that it is known for it is known from chronicles that the city was founded by Yaroslav the Wise when he was Prince of Rostov Vikli, where he reigned from 988 to 1010. The city was founded on the cape known as the Stelka, where the river Koslov flows onto the Volga. Yaroslav founded his new city on the site of whatever that is, the Bear's Corner, a settlement of pagan Finno-Ugric people. So he even founded his city in a settlement of crackers, right? He was ruling over them. So that's Yaroslav, right? And of course, like his father, he made them Uric people bow down to Christianity and converted them, right? So he's making them follow the Bible, right? Orthodox Christianity, however they was keeping it back then. A Kremlin, so Kremlin is also a word that's known in Russia, right? Ain't that what he calls the place he lived in or whatever?
Yep.
Now look, the first Kremlin wasn't made for the president of Russia, the white guy. A Kremlin was made for Prince Yaroslav, the so-called black man, right? A Kremlin was subsequently founded on the Stelka, which became the center of Yaroslav, known as the Rubliny Gorod, right? However, it was not long until the boundaries of the city grew beyond forfeited center. The first written mention of Yaroslav was made in 1071 in the primary chronicle in connection to the revolt led by Volki pagan priests as a result of a famine. So that's the city of Yaroslav, right? A little bit of history of it. And then they got a siege by the Bulgars, right? People from Bulgaria. Now, I want to put this into perspective too, real quick for you. Because, you think of Bulgarians, you think of like Helga and, big, strong white women with muscles and mustaches and unibrows and stuff, right? But before, I ain't going to say before because them people was there too. But the people ruling over those people, right? The first king of Bulgaria, just as the first king of Russia was a so-called black person. Right. The first king of Bulgaria, who also shares a name with Vladimir's sons, right? He's about 100 years before them. This man was named Boris, and they called him the Great, right? Boris of Bulgaria, known as Boris Mahil or Boris Michael, right? Was the Knaz, or the prince of the first Bulgarian Empire from 852 to 889. At the time of his baptism, he was a Christian, an Israelite. In 864, Boris was named Michael after his godfather, the Byzantine Emperor Michael III. So the Byzantine Empire, people going all the way up to Russia, all the way to Bulgaria, Poland. In a minute, we'll read about Ivan the Terrible and his people, right? So, yeah, that's the first king of Bulgaria, King Boris, right? Boris the Bulgar. And Boris is black. So, crazy, right? All right, let me see. Wow. So, 13th century, some must have pointed out the Mongol Tartar invasion of Russia, or Rus, right? Look at them Negroes. Everybody in this picture look black, right? A king died on his white horse. You got the other king back here in the back with the crown on, black, right? You got all the knights with the gold armor. You know, black people like gold. We King Solomon kinfolk, King David kinfolk. We love gold, right? The house shall wear fine gold of Euphaz. Solomon got a gold lake. Come on, bro. We love gold. And all of our soldiers rocking that, right? Then we got the Mongol Tartars. We even drew them as dark-skinned people. Probably darker than what they actually was. You see, they clearly lighter than us, but they still dark. We know Mongols was probably brown skinned back then too, still. But nevertheless, the Tartars are Turks. So there were some crackers here. And you know how the crackers make us all black? I mean, us all white. Anytime it's a white picture of history, everybody's white in the picture, right? No matter what. Mm-hmm. Guess what? They got us. Because we did it right here in Russia.
That's right. Cap, Salaki, Cap.
Oh, go ahead, Doc.
Can you bring out some? What else does anyone? What else does anyone see in the painting here?
Yeah, let me see if I can zoom in. Let me see if I.
I mean, it's.
Damn! Wait a minute. Accident. Hold on. Okay, I can't zoom in.
Where you had it was right there. Okay.
Hold on. All right, bet.
The reason why I bring out this is because a lot of our people are fans of certain movies that come out. That what's that one movie?
Lord of the Rings.
Well, all right, let's go with that. Lord of the Rings. There's another
Chronicles of Narnia. What you talking about?
In any of those where it shows the Edomite as being the ones who actually lived and ruled in the castles, but in this picture right here, what do we see?
King Arthur.
Right. What do we see?
I'm trying to find the movie you was thinking about.
What's that one that's it's a fictional one. It's that
Peter Pan.
No, it's a more recent. They show it like on Netflix or something like that, I think. Or it comes on one of those.
Oh, Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. There you go.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones. Right. But I just wanted people to notice that the painting has a castle. It has a drawbridge lifted up where you see people coming out of the castle. It has the enemy coming and attacking the castle. And I just find that amazing because for so long, we were brought up believing that we were the peasants and the Edomites, the kings, the princes, the rulers, the bishops, and all that. Yep. And quite the contrary, right? We see that history shows that it was us. So I just wanted to bring that up.
Definitely us. And like I said, right, you can't really get mad at them for making everybody white, even though they know everybody wasn't. But they doing it because they mad at us still for this. These pictures still exist. And they know that they're the Turks. And this is an invasion from the Turks and the Mongols. And we made everybody brown.
Right.
They pissed off when they see this. You know what I'm saying? That makes them mad. So they do it to us. You know what I'm saying? And they don't teach us the real history. So I ain't going to be mad at them. We just not going to give it to them back. The Saint shall take the kingdom and the pictures and possess them forever and ever. And they're not going to get them back.
Nope.
That's the way it is.
Never,
Whether
never.
they like it, understand it, believe it or not.
Right.
Oh, hold on. So there's more I gotta show you guys on this thing, right? So this is the fight between Russia and them, right? The Mongols and the Tartars. Now, mind you, hold on a second. This is 1238, right? The first expulsion of the Jews in England happened in the 1300s. This is 1238 in Russia, and we still here killing Mongols, paying everybody as black people. You hear me? Watch this, though. There's a king named Fyodor or Theodore the Black. How many white people you know named Theodore besides the Roosevelt dude? Knock. You know many people named Theodore that's white?
That's white?
Yeah. Only Theodore I know that's white is Theodore Roosevelt.
Yes, those. That's the only one I know personally. I mean, I know a brother named.
Everybody else I know named Teddy or something like that is a black person or Hispanic.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
You know what it is? Because Theodore is not a name that they created. It's a name for us. Our people created that name. It's a Eastern European name for Negroes, right? And it was made famous by this man right here, Fyodor, right? Or Theodore the Black. You know who else had a nickname the Black? King James' youngest son, James II, the Black Boy, right? Why did they name him the Black Boy? Because he was Wesley Snipes' black. Why is Theodore the Black Boy? Well, he's dark. Let me show you, right? Something to note, because we're going to go back to Priest Daniela video for this last part. This dude up here, right here, on the throne, on the little castle thing at the top with the pretty woman right here, his wife, the queen, that's Theodore, right? Fyodor, that's the big man, right? He's got different nicknames. He's like the Russian Alexander the Great, right? They got nicknames for him as a soldier, where he's like coming up in the ranks. He's Theodore the Soldier. They got pictures of that, icons you can find, black images, right? Then they got Theodore the General, right? When he become like the big man, and you got black images of that. Then you got Theodore the Great, right? Which is him in his final form. Feel what I'm saying? So like, here, let me show you a Theodore the Great right quick. Cause again, it probably ain't gonna pop up.
And Salakia, Captain Yakim brought up a question. Actually, saying would this be the Dark Ages? And yes,
this is definitely the Dark Ages.
Yeah.
Yes.
So anybody looking out there who learned in school that the Dark Ages was a time of sickness and disease, you know now the truth was that it was a time when people like us ruled.
Dark people ruled everything. Yeah, the one I'm looking for ain't on here. They crazy. So let me show you this real quick like. Right. I gotta remove this thing. Hold on, my bad. I gotta take the back screen off. Okay. Wow. Zoom in on that. This is Fyodor or Theodore the Great, right? They got him in the red like Alexander and all that. See what I'm saying? See where they get their inspiration for their art from? Us. Huh?
It's always been that.
Fyodor, right? Now, who's Fyodor's daddy? Do y'all know? Why my screen ain't come back? Do y'all see the back screen? No. What's up, StreamYard? Why you tripping? Wow. It's not working no more, huh?
Not pulling up?
Nah, hold on a second. Let me hold on. I'll be right back.
All right, left me by myself. So while he looks that up, but yeah, I'll just kind of go in on what Captain Yakim brought up. Let me put it up real quick. It says, would this be The Dark Ages. And yes, it would, because there was an early period. The Dark Ages ran from about 400 to 500 AD all the way into the up into the Renaissance, about 1500. So
Yep.
this would be considered the earlier stages of the Dark Ages.
That's correct. So, well, they like the mid Dark Ages because they in the 800s and 900s and stuff, 1000s. But yeah, they definitely there. This is the Dark Ages. So that's the history of Yaroslav, right? And I was showing you guys Fyodor the Black. So that was Fyodor the Black. Fyodor, as Priest Daniel is about to explain to us. Well, let me just get his daddy real quick. Let me see if this picture will pop up. Hopefully it does. Hold on a second. Ivan the Terrible icon. Let's see. Here it is. Look at that black man.
There we go.
That's Rick Ross. Yeah.
The Captain Yahweh? Oh.
That's Yakum Yah.
That's Yakum Yah.
Hey. Yakum Yah, you might be German, brother. Russian or something. I don't know. But look. So this is Ivan the Terrible, right? The big scary black man from Russia. The big general that put everybody in turmoil and was hacking brothers' heads off with an axe and, you know, throwing babies in the bathwater and drowning them and all that stuff. This is the crazy man. He wasn't white. He was black. Ivan the Terrible, right? That's him right there. You've heard me tell you all the time, Ivan the Terrible is a black man from Russia. Now you see it. You can Google it. I thought y'all would have did it because I said it a million times, but nobody did it. So now I'm going to show you, right? His son was one of the most famous generals ever in Russia, right? Which is Fyodor. Fyodor's nickname is the Black, which is why they don't tell you about Fyodor anymore unless you're in their history. And they don't call him Fyodor the Black. They call him Fyodor the Great now, right? But his surname that was given to him when you look him up in history is Fyodor the Black because he was black, right? But that's his daddy, Rick Ross Yakum Yah. You know what I'm saying? Huh. So yeah, that's Ivan, Big Ivan. So let me let Priest Daniel say this last little bit, and then we can get up out of here. I just want to show you this history because it didn't make sense. A lot of y'all know about the icons, but didn't know we made the icons because I heard people talking about stuff that wasn't exactly accurate. So, all right. And this is the book that I bought that hasn't, it ain't got here yet. But the last copy I bought was, I bought the last copy that I could find. I haven't seen them reload the copies yet. And the copy I got, the cover is ripped up and stuff. But all the pictures are there, including this one. This is another image of Fyodor the Black, right? And they explain to you who his daddy is. So check this out.
Time Magazine and Life Magazine, they got together and they put out a series of...
And it was made by Time Life Magazine, who used to be a reputable company back in the day, right?
Books. This is one of them. And I want you guys to see what they put in this book that they tried to hide, right? It says a feeble-minded czar.
And notice the timeline, because remember what I said about Fagin, right? And the Rothschilds wanting to end the czar state.
That's right.
This man was a czar in Russia from 1584 to 1598. He's a czar in Russia during the time King James is ruling England, ladies and gentlemen. The son of Ivan the Terrible.
All right. So this guy was one of the Russian czars, 1584 to 1598. Fedor, which we know is also the...
If I just want to ask you guys a question, right? If we could prove that King James in the Tudor family is related to the, I forget what them people from France is, King Henry family and stuff like that, right? Mm-hmm. What if we also could prove that these people are connected to them too? Because we already saw earlier that Boris and them is connected, right? To England in the Byzantine Empire. He had an uncle, right? So if the Byzantine Empire had a throne that was connected all the way up to King James, and one of the rulers of Russia was connected to rulers of the Byzantine Empire, which King James is a, descendant of. Why on earth wouldn't the Russian Tsar state continue the legacy that the, King James state was starting? Right? If I would have let that other video play, I didn't because of the time. The first video we played with Donald Trump and the AI and stuff like that. One of the guys in the video talks about the Irish slave trade, right? Well, he's gonna mention in that video the same thing we mentioned when we did the video on the slave trade, how the Dutch West India Company, right? Ain't that what the one that King James and them had? What's called? That was the Dutch West India Company, right?
Yes.
All right. So that company was the company that commissioned for the Irish people to go into slavery, right? As I've told you, there's documents you can read on this, right? One of which is, hold on a second, because I actually had one of them. Hold on. Is it this? Let me see. Damn. I might have to get that for you on a different video. We might do a class on that one, just specifically that. But there's documents you could get that prove that the Dutch West India Company's idea wasn't to start a slave trade in America of the, African American and Hispanic in the New World. It was to bring Irish people to the New World, right? And to make that happen. And a man named Oliver Cromwell, not Anthony Weldon that people want me to talk about, but Oliver Cromwell is the man that flipped the script, right?
Mm-hmm.
By way of the rulership of Anthony Weldon, who is the guy that killed King James and started the rumor and all that stuff about him being a homosexual and everything because he didn't get knighted, right? There was the Oliver Cromwell guy who actually flipped the script and made it so that the Irish people could become indentured servants, right? The history they put on Oliver Cromwell is that Oliver just made it a thing where, they had to be rounded up, and he continued the service that the Dutch West India Company started. But there was actually indentured documents that went into that. He rounded those Irish people up the same way that they're supposed to be rounded up by King James and his sons, Charles and James II. But instead of keeping the original agreement to make them the slaves in the New World to build up the country, he made them the indentured servants that would eventually get to buy their way out of slavery and get real slaves, right? So some of y'all got the last names McConnell and, Doble and Neely and all that other stuff, right? So that's Irish. So Shannon, Shanahan, yeah. So that's all Irish from your Irish slave master, right? Now, also, just to put that out there, a lot of you don't know, when King James ruled Ireland, Scotland, and Wales, he also ruled, when he ruled Scotland, Wales, and England, he also ruled Ireland. So, contrary to popular belief, we also were ruling that area as well. So, we were actually in control of the people in that land. And it wasn't just white people. So, yeah, that's the history on that. But this guy was a ruler during that time. Had the Rothschilds not decided to end the Jewish Tsar state, right? From the time that they were in in Russia, destroying the banks. Mind you, it wasn't white people's banks they were destroying. It wasn't white people kicking them out for destroying the banking systems, right? And for taking all the money and for hoarding all the gold and the silver. It was us because we were the kings that they were hoarding the gold and the silver from.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand now? So they had to put an end to our state because, as you see, our people are still ruling during this time. Prince James, the great-great-grandson of King James, didn't lose his little spot on the throne. He didn't rule, but he had a little spot, right, as a prince. And I think he got taken out around 1720-something. So 1500 to 1700, we still got power to an extent in everywhere but America, because America is where they destroyed the treaty we had, right, and made us slaves instead of the other people. They hadn't kicked us out of the thrones and all the other places yet, though, which is why the Rothschild need to do what they did in Russia and Germany, because our people were still there in high number, even when Hitler and Stalin were around, right? And had one of us been able to reclaim the Tsar throne, we could have destroyed everything the Jewish man did. So they had to destroy the Tsar state, right? You make it a Russia and Germany a presidential state, which is what they have now. A prime ministerial state, which is what they have now. So that's the situation we in. But when it was Tsar, they make you think they was destroying their economy of their kingship and stuff. It wasn't that. They destroyed our rights to the throne in Russia, right? Just like when they took King James from the throne and put Queen Elizabeth up there and stuff like that, right? And her people and stuff like that. That was them putting it into our state in the UK, the United Kingdom, right? So, yeah, that's a little bit of history. Yeah, go ahead.
Can I show something real quick? I'll let you read it, but I just want to show something real quick that kind of gives.
Go ahead. I ain't gonna read. I'm just gonna let everything else say this last little thing, and then we're gonna get it out of here.
Yeah, let me just show this real quick, just to kind of add to what you were saying about. Hold on, that didn't work right. There we go. And you can go ahead and read this because I know you'll know what this is about. You see it?
Yep. Black coat of, oh yeah.
This is Ireland, right? Irish surnames, right?
Now I want to say this is probably not the original coat of arms because it's got a knight head on it.
Right. But let's.
The black person in Ireland that would have had that would have showed their face.
Exactly. Now read. Now I want you to. You can read starting where this starts up right here. Well,
in school, if you went to school in America, when you were in first, second, third grade, somewhere around there, they teach you about coat of arms. They're teaching you about English history, right? And during this time period when they're teaching you about coat of arms, they teach you about surnames and all that stuff. But they're teaching it a white way as if it's something that they came up with. It's not. Our people came up with surnames. Our people invented the coat of arms because the coat of arms was something that was supposed to it was supposed to be a physical depiction of your family, the strength that you had, your occupation. If you had a physical family occupation, right? If you were a family of knights, if you were a doctor, whatever it is, that stuff could be put on your flag.
That's right.
Along with your face to show the patriarch of the family. Not the matriarch. A woman's face wouldn't be on it. The man's face would be on the flag. Right? So what you want me to read?
Well, I'll read it right here. I got it right here.
All right.
Bring
this out. That's crazy. I already see some words in here that's crazy.
Right. So this is dealing with the name Black. This is a coat of arms for the family. But I want to read this part. It says variants of the name Black include Blake, and Blackie.
How many black people we know last name Blake?
Right.
You thought it was your slave master name. You're probably English.
Or Irish or Scottish.
Or Irish or Walish or something like that. Go ahead.
This is a name of nickname origin meaning of dark complexion.
So Jack Black didn't really have the name Black. That was the name he adopted as a slave master.
That's right.
He's probably Irish. Because a lot of those Irish people, once they got their rights, they just took our names to make themselves the kings. You understand? That's what St. Patrick's Day is about. Them taking the land back from the leprechauns, who was us, the ones that had the gold. Right? Go ahead.
Salaki. So this next sentence, it says, this name is often of Scottish descent, spreading to Ireland.
I'll remind him in a minute, Yakamia.
And Wales in early times, and is found in many medieval manuscripts throughout these countries. So I just wanted to bring out the fact that, this was us. These were names by so-called black people. Created all this. So.
And if you go on that good old Googler and Google PDF book Nature Knows No Color Line, or put Nature Knows No Color Line free PDF, that way you ain't got to pay for it. You can actually read that book. I think the man, is it Windsor that made that book? I forgot who the author is, but it's a brother from way back in the day that made that book, right? He did his research, went to different places in the world, and still had books that had these original coat of arms in them.
Oh, yeah.
He took that book to the printer and printed out them coat of arms so you could see it and the last names attached to it, right? Them German names like Bronkowski and stuff. Gran Grokovich. That's not names that they started. We had them type of ugly ass names. Yeah, they ugly. I ain't going. That's ugly ass name. But that was stuff we started, right? We had them names attached to us, and when they kicked us out the land, they either took it and adopted that name themselves, or they were our slaves and they kept the name that we had and made themselves the ruler.
Huh.
That's how they got a lot of their last names. A lot of you guys think it was their last names they gave to us during slavery. A lot of that was last names y'all already had. If you come from England and Wales and Europe and stuff, if you're not African or didn't come from Africa and they was taking you from Europe, or if you was somebody from Europe that moved to Africa during the expulsion, you still had your last name. You wasn't going to Africa changing your name to Umbabawe. You were still Moore or Brown or Black.
Right.
Or Blake.
Right.
Latham. Right? And when they took you, they just took your name.
Yeah.
Latham Plantation, Black Plantation, Johnson Plantation, and you was Johnson. They took your whole Johnson family and put your ass on the plantation. Now they the Johnson. They the big Johnson, you the little Johnson.
God.
Mr. Johnson, Slave Johnson. Right? And over time, you forgot you was Johnson. You're no longer John's son because John is a prophet of the Bible. John is a saint. The sons of John would be the saints of John, the Johnites. Right? The Williams sons would be the sons of the Saint William. Right? The Gad sons would be the sons of Gad. The Stewarts would be the Swarts or the Blacks. You see what I'm saying? They just stole your stuff. So that's the code of honor. I'm glad you brought that out now.
Yeah, I want, and Captain Yakum Yak.
Yeah, I was about to say Yakum Yak tell you check your text because
yes. I'm gonna pull this up real quick.
While he's doing that, I got one more thing I want to let Priest and y'all let's say this last part about Ivan and them. So check this out.
Fedor inherited the unrest stirred up by his father. Who was his father? What does that say? It's Ivan the Terrible. What I'm showing you guys is that whether I'm dealing with the 1000s, the 1100s, all the way up to the 1500s, there were Black people that ruled Russia. I know it sounded strange to you guys when you first heard it.
And I've showed you it's been beyond the 1500s that people were ruling. People were still in control. Right? Not just in Russia, but still in Europe.
That's right.
Right? Even when you go into like Renaissance art and music and stuff like that, and you get into Beethoven and Mozart, they was Black. They was Jews. They was Israelites. Right? Luis de Torres. It was all type of prominent people in the lands during that time. You just don't know that they're Black now because now you find the pictures. They don't look like that. They look like this.
Right.
Now I'm telling you, there were. Now you can marry the two together. The reason why the iconography is dark, the reason why they have the patron saints of the Bible being dark, and the angels being dark, and so forth and so on, is because we were ruling. That's why.
That's right.
Yeah. So that's the Dark Ages. The Water Priest Daniela. Like I said, I suggest y'all go watch that video. He gave you some books that I ain't gonna give you, because the more y'all get them, the more expensive they get, and books and pages rip. So I need to be able to get some when mine go bad. You know what I'm saying? Can't do that if y'all taking them, making the price go to $8,900. So
right.
That's why I be trying to figure out how to get the stuff for free, so I could buy the stuff and y'all could get it for free. Because I need the stuff for myself. We need to put it in the Anointed House of Saints library one day when we get the big thing. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, y'all just Google and put the icon or original icon on the back of the name that you want, and the picture will pop up. Right? Like, for example, my dog is wilding. Let me see if I could just do this right quick, right? Just to show you. Quick example before we get up out of here. Let's say we put Saint Peter original
Icon.
Can't spell today.
That first one.
The first one is a white one, but you see they got the little afro and everything. The new, the brand new writing. It ain't in Russian, right? Or Coptic, whatever that language is. Hold on, let me click the images. Here we go. It's dark, but they changed the hair.
Look at that one to the left of that.
Yeah, he looked like that kind of like my dad a little bit. I ain't gonna lie, but he light skinned.
Right.
The damn, they did Peter dirty.
Put in. Oh, I guess you.
This is probably the best one you're gonna find right now.
Yeah.
This is a good one. Peter and Paul. See that?
Yep.
Uh-huh. Here. Let me see if it gets better as we scroll down. He kind of looked like Drake. This one right here. He like he's 21. Come and do something from it. Yeah. Apostle Peter.
Keep going down. Keep going down. Right there to the right. No, back up. Go up. Right there. With the
here?
Yeah, that's a little better too.
Yeah, that's a good one. Damn, not that one. Oh, okay.
Oh, there we go.
I didn't know I had room to go over that far. I can't even. Let me see what this is. Oh, beautiful. Look, the two guys we want to see. Greek icon, St. Peter and St. Paul.
There you
Tempera on wood. And they won't even let you zoom in.
That's how they made it too. That's how they created it.
But you see that, right?
God, it's small.
Peter's the one with hair. Paul's the one with the big forehead. They say he was bald. In all the pictures that I've seen, he got a cul-de-sac. So, I'm assuming they knew he had a cul-de-sac. In every picture I've seen of Peter, he got the nice, even set, nice, hair and everything. So, yeah. Paul was stressed out and Peter wasn't as much, I guess. And some pictures, he got the, Evander Holyfield ear missing and stuff. So, but that's the wrong, Sometimes they got him with the ear in his hand and everything. It ain't his ear that's missing, but But yeah, sometimes they were funny with the pictures. I think there's even one of Paul and Barnabas I've seen before where they're like separating or arguing or something. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So they got real creative with some of these icons, older pictures and stuff. But you got to really look for them because, like I said, when you just type it in, you'll get all them other options for pictures, and then you got to look for the good one, like we just saw. And once you find it, it usually has a description of what's actually in the picture, so you can see what it is and who it is. So
right.
That's that, man.
So real quick, I'm gonna add. Yeah. I'm gonna show this image that just to add more emphasis to tonight's lesson. Captain Yakum. Can you see that?
Yep. Zoom in. That's Prince Maurice, Saint Maurice.
That was my first thought. Oh, can't do that because I got other stuff on there. I don't know if I can blow it. Well, hold on, let me try this. Hold on.
No, that looks like Saint Maurice.
Yeah, it looks like it's and Saint Maurice is shown pretty much everywhere. But at the bottom of it says statue of a blackamoor holding a Habsburg coat of arms. So even the
like
creation,
Habsburg. That's why I think it's that's why I think it's him. In fact, I got that picture on. Hold on a second, because I got Saint Maurice with the Habsburg.
Yep.
Hold on, let me find that. Where you at, Maurice?
And if anyone knows the story of Saint Maurice,
there we go.
Briefly, I believe he was I want to say he was a general or a captain of an all-black
French platoon.
Platoon, kind. That's the best way to put it.
He like Napoleon type of soldier, but he like the Black Napoleon. Put it like that. Same place. All right, here we go. Yeah, it's kind of cut off, but you see the flag with the Habsburg.
Kind. Well, show it. You got it?
Yeah. Oh, y'all can't see that? Hold on. My bad.
Sure.
Damn. I thought I shared it. the flag is kind of cut off in the picture, but you can see the Habsburg wings on the flag.
There you go. Yep. Man, look at him, man.
So that's why every time I see that, I think it's St. Maurice.
But look at that brother, though. Look at him.
Yeah, it's definitely brother.
Look how he
ruler of the
dressed.
French army. All gold, everything from the sword to the flag.
Straight royalty.
Kneecap.
That's royalty.
The man got gold kneecaps.
Is that our colors for the Passover almost?
Yeah, almost. Yeah, he gonna be. Yeah, I bet not see Judah pull up like that.
I could see Judah pulling up like that. Shout out Captain Judah, if you all.
Judah gonna wear all stainless steel and gold.
Making noise everywhere you go.
That's funny. All right, but that's all I got, man. You know
Wait a minute, hold on. I think he may have. Let me just check, make sure he didn't send me something else. No, I think that was it. I think was it. Was that it? Oh, hold up. Let's see. Yeah, that was it. Okay, from what I see. God.
So yeah, man, I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of history on that. Like I said, if y'all want to watch that Priest Daniel video, he didn't really go more in depth than I went, but he gave you more visual, not picture standpoint, but as far as the history, right? Mm-hmm. So if y'all want to get more in depth with that, I suggest y'all go watch that video. If you ever want any images from anybody, like I said, you just type in their name and put original icon. It usually helps if you put saint in front of their name so that they know you're talking about the Israelites. And typically, if you scroll enough, you'll find the original pictures. You know what I'm saying? Nobody will ever be able to hide from you who they are. So
there you go. All praises. All right. Well, that was enlightening. I hope everyone was edified by what Cap brought out today. You know, he's a history buff. I'm a history buff, so I love to go back into the history that was kept from us, and we bring this out to you. So please like, share, subscribe to the classes. Share this with your family. Share this with your children, right? Because they're our future, right? So share this with your children, this information that we're bringing out on a weekly basis, not just on Milk Monday, but all throughout the week with our classes. I'll just shout them out real quick. We have our next class coming up, which is our Wild Out Wednesday with Captain Yahawada. And then we have our Torah portion lessons on Thursday Night Live with Captain Jonathan. And then we have our Friday night Bible study. And then we have our Sabbath morning brew, Captain Aharon leads that with the other brothers. So, you know, we just want to do the most that we can, you know, a little bit, 1% better every day, bringing out this truth to you. And we are so glad to have you here. I enjoyed the class. But before we go ahead and go, I want to go ahead and go over a few more things that I went over earlier before class. Any brothers who are wanting to build your brick or put your brick in with Anointed House of Saints, you can do so by sending us an email at anointedhos@gmail.com. Please, in the subject line, put prospect phase. We will then get back with you when that next phase will be starting. So be aware of that.
Just ended one, so y'all better get in it because this next one is going to be pretty action-packed.
God, all praises. Also, we know we just got a couple of days. I'm getting my stuff together, getting ready to head on down to the ATL here in probably about 2.5, 3 days, something like that. And we're going to have a wonderful time. It is our Passover. It's the 2024 Passover feast. I'm not going to play the video this time like I did earlier. What I am going to do is I'm just going to show the flyer just for those who came in a little bit later can see when it's going to be and where it's going to be. And that's right there. It's going to be the Anointed House of Saints presents Passover 2024. April 21st, 7 p.m. All right. If you want to attend, I'm not sure. Cap, let me ask you a question. Have the ticket sales stopped on on the website?
No. I spoke to Judah about that yesterday. We're actually gonna leave it open. So I think I'm gonna just say till Friday right now. So
okay,
if you haven't bought a ticket yet, as of right now, you got till Friday to go ahead and buy your ticket for your family, you know what I'm saying, or for yourself, whatever it is. So I suggest you do that because ain't gonna be no sneaking in this time.
Right. Right. So so tickets, you are still able to purchase tickets online. That's at least up until this Friday. So if you're looking to attend, or if a friend has asked you about it and they want to attend, give them this information. We would love to see you and have a great time. All praises for that on the Passover, at the Passover feast. Also, I want to go ahead and give shout outs to those who came in after class started. I was trying to see if I didn't miss anyone, but I'm going to go ahead and call out the list that I have. So I want to give a shalom to Soldier Zebulon. Shalom to Soldier Gary, be like ants. Shalom to Soldier Yaquab in Ohio. Shalom to the brother Octaves. Shalom to Officer Shemaiah. Shalom to Soldier Yaquab in North Kakalaki. Shalom to World Without End. And shalom to Yohanan. Those are the names that I were able to find. If miss anyone else, I'm sorry. But hey, come back next week or we will see you on Wednesday, Wild Out Wednesday, all right? But with that, we're going to go ahead and get Daniel 7:18. And then we're going to let y'all go ahead and do your thing, right? Some got to work tomorrow. Some may be retired. Some may be studying, meditating tomorrow. Who knows? But hey, one thing is to prepare yourself for the Passover. Get that leaven out. Get the leaven out. All right. So with that, I'm going to go to Daniel chapter 7 and verse 18. And it reads, "But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever." Come, Bahashima Mashiach Yahweh Shai. With that, I am Officer Knock and
Captain the Aristocrat.
We are Anointed House of Saints. And thank you for joining us again for another Milk Monday. See you next week. But we want to see you first on Wild Out Wednesday. So with that, we say Shalom.
This is not a test.
Black skin, black sauce, black Jesus, black music, 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 black music, black music, black music, black music.